Number 10. Natalia Pasternak. One summer's afternoon in June 2015, 55-year-old Natalia Pasternak and her 80-year-old friend Valentina Gorodetskaya were walking through the Siberian forest collecting bird saps, unaware that this was a trip they might never have returned from. The pair had unknowingly crossed into the path of a huge brown bear, which made an initial beeline for Valentina's dog, before turning its attention to the mother of two, Natalia. After attempting to separate the wild animal from her friend by hitting it with a stick, Valentina ran to find out. Natalia faced the jaws of death. During the hour-long ordeal, the bear assumed that its now-mauled prey was finally dead and began burying Natalia with earth and leaves in order to eat her later. Eventually, police arrived on the scene and noticed that the part-exposed woman was still breathing, and with no other options, they shot the bear and unearthed Natalia, who later fully recovered in hospital. Despite being buried alive and intended as a brown bear's next meal, Natalia Pasternak lived to tell the terrifying tale, and even posted an update on her social media with the caption, "Life is beautiful." Phineas Gage. The case of Phineas Gage is quite literally mind-blowing. On September 13th, 1848, then 25-year-old Gage was working as a president of the Food Railroad near Cavendish, Vermont, when disaster struck. He was using an iron tamping rod to pack explosive powder into a hole when the powder suddenly detonated, sending the 43-inch long, 1.25-inch diameter rod hurtling upward. The rod penetrated Gage's left cheek, tearing through his brain and exiting through the back of his skull, where it landed 80 feet away. Remarkably, Gage was able to walk to a nearby car to alert a coworker who rushed him to a doctor, where the physician was astonished to find his patient conscious and able to communicate. Despite losing sight in his left eye, Gage was able to leave his house within a month and could even recount exactly when and how the accident happened. But it wasn't long until those closest to him noticed something wrong. His well-mannered disposition had been replaced by an unheard of aggression and lack of social decorum, and family and friends claimed he was no longer himself. Studies carried out in 2012 concluded that the injury had destroyed around 11% of white matter in Gage's frontal lobe and 4% of his cerebral cortex, causing irreversible damage to his rational processing. To this day, Gage is remembered as one of the most famous patients in neuroscience. Number 8. Casey Wagner. They say lightning never strikes twice, but one man learned the hard way that famous phrases shouldn't always be taken as fact. In October 2013, 31-year-old Casey Wagner was attending an annual in San Joe, Texas, called Rednecks with Paychecks when storm clouds began rolling in above. While waiting for a friend to return from the toilet, Wagner sought shelter under a tree.
I don't know what's going on with control. That's not music.
By the time he noticed electrical sparks splintering off the tree trunk, it was already too late. Casey was suddenly struck by lightning, and before he could hit the ground, a second bolt struck his workman, sending electricity shooting up through his body. Luckily, a passing nurse rushed to his aid and kept him conscious while they waited for paramedics to arrive at the scene. Astonishingly, after just one night in observation, Casey was released with no major injuries, and doctors claimed he was a living miracle. The chances of being struck by lightning in the U.S. are around 1 in 750,000. So Casey Wagner was incredibly lucky to survive a double strike. One thing is for sure, though, he won't be standing under any more trees during bad weather. Number 7. Sambora. In August 2018, one man beat all odds by surviving 4 days in the Cambodian jungle with no food, water, or means of escape. Oh, and did I mention he was wedged between two giant rocks? 28-year-old Sambora had been scouring the Chakri Mountain jungle in the northwestern province of Baden-Württemberg in search of plant droppings from water to sell as valuable fertilizer when his torch fell into a small rocky hollow. Bending down to retrieve it, Ford slipped and fell into the narrow crevice between the rocky terrain below where he became wedged in the rock face for 4 agonizing days. Eventually, his worried brother discovered him and alerted the authorities, who took this unbelievable photo from above before beginning a painstaking operation to free the man. It took 200 rescuers around 10 hours to cut away the parts of the rock which had trapped him, before he was taken to a provincial hospital to recover. The Cambodian police chief has since declared Chakrai Mountain prohibited for climbing, and despite being dangerously weak shortly after the ordeal, Sambora has thankfully returned to full health, making him one impossibly lucky man. Number 6. Christine McKenzie. Skydiving is a thrill for some, but for For many others, the idea of falling through the sky is a total nightmare, even when there's a parachute involved. When then 23-year-old Christine McKenzie prepared for her 112th skydive in August 2004, she had no idea that it would be any different from her other successful attempts. As a seasoned skydiver, McKenzie was unfazed as she began her 11,000-foot descent until it was time to prepare for landing and her parachute failed to open. Trying not to panic, she pulled on the cord of her emergency chute, but the lines got tangled and she hurtled towards the ground in a 45-second free fall before smashing into a set of power cables. By absorbing most of the energy from her fall, the power lines had saved Mackenzie's life, and when she was admitted to hospital, she suffered only a broken pelvis. Skydiving instructor Hannah Gulliver was astounded to find her alive and claimed that a reserve parachute malfunction is basically unheard of. Despite her ordeal, Mackenzie even announced from her hospital bed she was determined to jump again. Number 5. Greg Rasmussen. Greg Rasmussen is an animal conservationist who came a little too close for comfort with some of the fiercest predators in the African bush back in 2003. Rasmussen had boarded his single-engine plane over Hawaii National Park in Zimbabwe in search of endangered rhinos when he lost control during intense winds and crashed into the plains below. After quickly realizing that he had broken both legs, Rasmussen was able to drag himself to a nearby tree to seek shelter. But his nightmare was far from over. The impact had detuned his radio, so any mayday calls went unheard, and he soon realized he would have to wait it out in the wilderness. Vulnerable and exposed, Rasmussen became an easy and appealing meal for nearby predators, and as vultures began to circle, a stampede of elephants headed towards the wreckage. Thinking fast, Rasmussen beat the aluminum hull of his aircraft with a stick, which scared them off, and he repeated the same trick after identifying the chilling call of a lioness as dusk set in. After surviving the night and fending off a hungry hyena with his drumming, Rasmussen was found and rescued, and after some 100 operations, some use of his legs was restored, and he is now 3 inches shorter. Number 4. Truman Duncan. Becoming known as the Miracle Man is no easy feat, but 40-year-old Truman Duncan definitely deserves such a title after surviving being cut clean in half. In June 2006, Truman was working at Greenbrier Rail Service in Cleveland, Texas, when he fell between a pair of moving railroad freight cars and found himself fighting for his life. After hanging onto the car for 20 seconds, Truman was caught beneath the wheel supporting 20,000 pounds of dead weight, which dragged him along for 50 feet before severing him through the pelvis bone. Miraculously, Truman stayed conscious and even contacted 911 before waiting 45 minutes for paramedics to locate him at the huge rail yard. Blood loss had sent his body into crucial preservation mode, and his vital organs like his heart, lungs, liver, and one kidney remained intact. After 23 surgeries over 4 months, Truman, who now uses a wheelchair, was fully active again, and he has even returned to work in the office at the very same rail yard. Number 3. Anna Begenholm. In 1999, Swedish orthopedic surgeon Anna Begenholm made medical history when she was shockingly revived after freezing to death some 24 hours earlier. Then 29-year-old Begenholm had been skiing with colleagues in the Kjolden mountain range in Norway when she lost control during a steep descent and fell onto a frozen stream below. A hole then opened up beneath her body, swallowing her head first and trapping her under 8 inches of ice with no means of escape. And when her friends found her and attempted to pull her out, only her feet and skis were above the ice. After 40 minutes of shallow breathing using a tiny air pocket, Anna's body temperature reached a staggeringly low 13.70 degrees Celsius, and she entered circulatory arrest. By the time rescuers dug her out, she had been under the freezing ice for 80 minutes, and when she was airlifted to hospital, she had undoubtedly been clinically dead for 2 hours. After desperate efforts to rewarm her blood, Anna's heart miraculously restarted 24 hours after her initial fall, and after more than a year, she was able to move again. Doctors believe that the extreme cold slowed her metabolism, causing the brain to require less oxygen, and induced hypothermia is now practiced with critical patients to prolong the window needed to save lives. Number 2. Ron Hunt. It may seem unlikely that the subject of an x-ray like this one could make it out alive, but one incredibly lucky man has lived to tell the tale. On 15th August 2003, construction worker Ron Hunt was working in the Tahoe Donner subdivision in Truckee, California, when one mishap almost cost him his life. Hunt was drilling above his head while standing on a 6-foot ladder when he pushed a little too hard, trying to bore a hole, causing the ladder to wobble. Realizing what was about to happen, Hunt followed standard safety procedure by tossing the drill aside, but the power tool didn't fall far enough away, and he landed face first on the
Okay,
18-inch long,
man.
4.5-ounce diameter drill bit. The
What
tool
coffee in a
splintered
Babylon,
tear
yeah.
entering his right eye and exiting about 6 inches through the side of the skull. But it miraculously pushed
Okay,
away, sparing him from brain
now.
damage, paralysis, or probably that, especially
Madness.
since the shell had been open. He decided to effectively unscrew it free, and Hunt recovered from his injuries in just under a month. Despite losing an eye and suffering a fractured skull, Hunt emerged relatively unscathed, and his cognitive health has proved even more remarkable than the curious case of Phineas Gage. Before I continue, check out this incredible footage captured on helmet cam that shows the moment motorcyclist Taylor Smith flipped in the air and somehow landed on his feet after being hit by a speeding car on his way home from work. The extraordinary event took place in San Francisco in 2015 when the car emerged from nowhere after running a red light at an intersection and hit Mr. Smith's sign on. The 2011 Daytona 675 custom bike was destroyed in an instant, but thankfully Smith himself was wearing all the correct protective gear. Smith only suffered minor bruising and was astonished to find himself on his feet, having probably also saved the lives of the pedestrians crossing at the right side of the street. Number 1. Lucky Log Escape. If you've ever seen Final Destination 2, you'll remember this terrifying scene. But your fear of freak logging truck related catastrophes may not be so irrational after seeing this photo. In October 2019, one motorist in Georgia had an incredibly lucky escape after his 2003 Nissan Xterra was impaled by logs from front to back. The unnamed driver was bending down to collect a dropped coffee cup when he rear-ended a logging truck in front, which sent as many as 40 felled trees smashing through the windshield and out the other end. The scene may look like a definite death trap, but thankfully the driver emerged with only minor injuries because his seat was not in an upright position at the time of impact. Firefighters cut through the massive logs before rescuing the man in around 10 to 15 minutes, and the chief officer was astounded to discover that his head had ended up in a hole perfectly sized to protect him from the logs. This person needs to buy a lottery ticket with that sort of luck. So which of these people do you think was the luckiest? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Lady Luck can be a cruel mistress, but for some ludicrously lucky people, she comes just when they need her most. From a woman who survived falling 14,500 feet without a parachute to a girl who was frozen solid for a whole night, the following stories of these real life legends are sure to leave your jaws on the floor. So get ready to shuffle to the edge of your seat as we take a look at even more of the luckiest people who survived against impossible odds. Tree terror. There's nothing more relaxing than chilling out by the pool with a good book, right? Well, back in July 2020, one mother from Georgia found out it can be anything but relaxing. She was casually reading and watching her kids play in the pool when suddenly her son started shouting to her. Medicating means who doesn't love him? The worst thing for me is I can't please all my girls. The extraordinary journey of Chris Daddy Kelly and Chris Daddy Matt Smith, one of the most beloved duos from the 90s, was one of excitement and industry. These guys just can't help but just rat themselves out. These guys just can't help but just rat themselves out. Let's get right into just how dumb criminals can get. Number 4, let's rap about crime. 213 Jug God is a Texan rapper whose real name is Ladacien Riley. As a rapper, Riley makes hardcore songs about jugging. You would think that obviously jugging would mean that Riley is into doing things with the jugs, playing the jug, doing stuff in jugs, hanging out with juggalos, collecting roughly 213 jugs, maybe even the occasional juggling show. Stuff like that can easily bring in up and comer loads of street cred in the hip hop community. Actually, the jug is named for jugging, and jugging is a street slang that means following unsuspecting victims and robbing them. 213, Jug God, was so into jugging that he actually wrote it. I just received a marketing grant from a freelance on Fiverr. It's great. On the way opposite, a jugging song called Make It Home, with lyrics bragging about stealing from ATMs. Really being a god of jugging, what else was our man Riley going to do in his downtime? Not jug? Of course not. The lyrics of Make It Home describe robbing ATMs in different states, having thousands of dollars in the car, and trying to make it home before the police catch up. A deep and meaningful song that anyone could relate to. Most who heard the song might believe that 213 Jug God was just making up a story for his song, but it was actually his plan. The only difference was 213 Jug God didn't make it home. He was 213 Jug God. 213 Jug God wasn't alone in his robbing escapades. He had 3 other juggers with him. His jug gang of 4, which included a juggette, jugged an ATM technician at the Bank of America. The crew approached the technician from behind as he serviced the machine, like a true jugger would, and forced him to hand over all the money in the machine, or there would be violence. Once they got the cash, the gang took the money and fled. 213 Jug God probably thought all about making it home, just like his song. However, things didn't quite pan out like that for our ragtag crew of jugging misfits. One of their getaway vehicles had been rented through Hertz, which allowed police to easily track their vehicle. In no time at all, police discovered the vehicle at a motel and fixed the thing safe. When police arrived, they decided to stake it out to see what kind of jugging activity they might find. And they found plenty. Police saw the gang load a Jeep up with cash, which was presumably jugged from the ATM. And then the gang checking out. After checking out, the suspects took off in different vehicles, but the police weren't about to let these juggers make it home. So they pursued the vehicle and quickly apprehended the jug title. Once all the jug friends were arrested, police discovered that this wasn't exactly 213 Jug God's first jugging rodeo. He was actually just out of prison on bond for an evading arrest charge. Police also discovered 213 Jug God's music and learned that he'd been bragging about jugging ATMs in his lyrics, so good luck with that not guilty plea. To add insult to injury, police made sure to mock 213 Jug God's ability to actually make it home in a Facebook post. Hopefully, 213 Jug God's church that worships him, he is a god after all, works to repent. Number 3, NBA player insurance scam. Former NBA player Terrence Williams was a first-round NBA pick out of Louisville who spent 6 seasons in the NBA with the Brooklyn Nets, Houston Rockets, Sacramento Kings, and Boston Celtics. Despite making a decent amount of money in the NBA, Williams wanted more. What he got was an indictment for leading a group of around 18 people to defraud the NBA through phony medical and dental insurance claims. Williams had recruited doctors in California and Washington, sent them false insurance claims, and got paid thousands of dollars in what turned out to be as embarrassing as a jump shot. Williams recruited other NBA players by offering Williams got these invoices from the doctor, recruited him, and then had the players submit the fake claims to the NBA insurance company. He also recruited non-medical professionals to copy the invoices made by medical officers. The FBI investigators said that these invoices were usually poorly done. They often had typos and no letterhead, and often contained misspelled names. Despite the unsophisticated nature of the scheme, Williams earned about $300,000. Aside from creating fake invoices, Williams was a true Renaissance man that also dabbled in identity theft.
Yeah, so that.
Designed to impersonate an employee of the NBA health insurance plan to frighten a doctor who wanted to back out of the scheme. Williams threatened the doctor by saying he'd pay a fine or he'd tell the authorities of the false invoices and claims, allowing Williams to net over $346,000. Williams' scam couldn't carry on forever, though, since he made so many mistakes that his arrest was inevitable. The invoices submitted were obviously fake, and some of the participants in the crime had made obvious slip-ups, like billing the NBA from states the teams didn't visit. Even after the scheme went bust and Williams was caught, he still went about threatening witnesses. Williams texted a threat to a witness and told them that they were talking too much and that horrible things could befall them
So,
if
but,
they obtained
uh,
medication. In the end, Williams pled guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit health insurance fraud.
no, no, no,
He
shit.
was charged with carrying a maximum term of about 20 years in prison.
Mm.
Williams was also charged with one count of aggravated identity theft, which carries a mandatory minimal sentence of 2 years in prison. As part of his guilty plea, he agreed to pay restitution of
This is my boy, pop again. I want to eat it.
roughly 650 grand to the U.S. government. Number two, buy high, sell low. Michael Malexidek's operation started way back in 2013 when he just founded a company called ZetaKicks. The company found quick success and was soon a popular online plug for sneakerheads, people who collect and trade rare or exclusive sneakers. These sneakers are usually quite expensive and often run into thousands and thousands of dollars. It's a lucrative gig if you know what you're doing, but Michael Malexidek thought it'd be more lucrative if he instead was running a nationwide Ponzi-like scheme, defrauding thousands of customers out of about $70 million pretending to sell shoes. Not long after its inception, Zeta Kicks became a ridiculously successful company, making Michael Malexidek a very rich man. In early 2020, things started to get a bit complicated. In that time, Zeta Kicks repeatedly promised its customers access to exclusive shoes that were yet to be on the market, and oftentimes promised them at lower than retail prices. These sneakers were usually highly sought after and sold out within minutes. Even other retailers wanted to buy from Zeta Kicks because they could resell the shoes at a profit. However, Zeta Kicks had caps. Customers could only get these shoes if they paid for pre-order. Just like that, Zeta Kicks started taking payments for pre-orders. The only small problem for Malexidek couldn't fulfill pre-orders, and he knew it when he started taking them. Malexidek accepted 600,000 pre-orders for Air Jordan 11 Cool Grade, and then put the sneakers on sale for about $115 to $200 a pair, when Nike was expected to sell them for about $225. 600,000 orders amounted to about $70 million. These were incredible sales, but the problem was Malexidek had only 6,000 pairs in his storehouse, leaving a 593. Every time someone tells you they vacation in the same place every year, it should really make you wonder why. Travel like you mean it with IHG Hotels and Resorts. 18 hotel brands, 6,000 global destinations, one loyalty program. Thousand deficit. The responsible thing at this point would be to refund his customers. But Michael had never been accused of being responsible and did no such thing. Instead, he offered his customers a combination of gift cards and refunds, allowing him to keep a huge chunk of the pre-order payments. Still, many orders were left without refunds, and even orders that were fulfilled only got to their destinations a year or so later. Aside from owing shoes to customers that didn't get refunded, the gift cards Melchizedek offered them were simply not equivalent to payments they made. So, Michael Melchizedek did what any person would do after they fleeced millions of dollars. He decided to move on with his life. Melchizedek used the money he got from his illegal scheme to purchase luxury items and live a wealthy lifestyle. He
I
posted
mean,
videos of himself riding around
my money. business. More money. So I just watch this thing. I'm watching these things about people being exposed for scams. Yeah, because like I said, I feel like someone's trying to set me up and entrap me. Yeah, given that I'm by myself, I don't know, no, I don't have any friends. I can't get any lawyers. You get me? Like, there's so many types of scams out there. Yeah, and obviously there's so many types of scams you can be unwittingly entrapped in, giving bad advice to, and you think, oh, yeah, it's legal to do. The cons know that it's not illegal, or know that they can twist the story. So I just saw this thing about this man buying his wife a Mercedes Benz, and he looked like he set her up in it. He gave her the Benz as a present, and then the police started looking at her, and then found out that she bought it. She obtained it fraudulently and all that. So obviously, then these fools diagnosed me as a schizophrenic. Yeah, which I'm not scared. I'm not backing down. They diagnosed me as a schizophrenic. I ain't scared. I ain't fucking backing down. Yeah, I can't get any lawyers. I can't get any lawyers to look into the situation to check if I've got a case against the state and the people. Yeah. Mm. So I can't get any fucking any way to figure out if what they did was legal or not legal, which means I could basically sue and I'll get the diagnosis and rescind because I don't care about the diagnosis, but I don't want to have the diagnosis unnecessarily, especially if somebody can use it as a way to hide their malicious activities against me and try and stitch me up in it, like to make me look like a criminal in it. I mean, because obviously I'm not saying I'm not an angel, but I'm just saying what they're accusing me of. I don't know, and if I don't know, I can't justify or defend it. Innit? So they're trying to get the evidence that they need while denying me the ability to approach the government about it first, isn't it? Mm. Because the law says, oh right, well, if you think you're being entrapped or a case is against you, you can go to a lawyer and a solicitor could possibly figure it out, and obviously that will destroy their case. It doesn't seem like they want to. It doesn't seem like they just want to solve crimes. It seems that they're trying to pull off a malicious. Yeah, I mean, it seems that there's malicious intent behind it. So they don't want me to get a lawyer and obtain information against them first before they get to put me through the process because obviously it's intended to cause grief, innit? Yeah, it's intended to aggravate, aggrieve. It's intended to cause some sort of problem, not only financially but mentally, innit? Yeah, because I'm trying to get information the the manager, the manager, from pals, from lawyers to say, well, what exactly was the evidence used to what they used to what do you call it that they used to diagnose me? Yeah. This woman, I saw her name on warrants. She's called Karen Titchman, and another woman called Jolie Kelly. I don't know how many warrants has been out against me, but obviously that shows that the mental health people put a warrant out against me, innit? So obviously, I'm trying to contact this woman to ask her because you can ask for paperwork verbally or through formal channels, isn't it? So it's all up to it's basically down to them. It's basically down to them. It's basically down to them how they want you to do it, innit? So what I keep noticing is that they keep trying to force me down formal channels all the time. So I'm like, well, why are you constantly trying to force me down formal channels? The law says you can't ask for them verbally, innit? Like, so why you man can just never just agree to give me the stuff verbally? Why does everything has to be formal? You know what I mean? Like, why I ask for it, why can you just never just provide it? So it shows that there's something is going on. Yeah, obviously I'm very aware of it is going on. It's probably I think it worked out in my best interest to have it formally done. But I don't think that was their intention to have me formally look for it. I think what they were trying to do was deliberately deterring me from seeking advice and gathering what is going on. I mean, I think that was a deliberate attempt, innit? To demoralize and deter me and make the process long and drawn out. Anyway, obviously, I'm determined to get the answers because, like I say, just in case it goes bad, just in case it goes bad and they do try whatever they were up to. I don't know exactly what's going on, but if I assume there is some sort of investigation going on, So just in case they do try to fuck around with me, I'm ensuring I'm leaving, I'm gathering my evidence and making sure I understand what is possibly going on and trying to speak to these professional people because they'll say, oh, based on a professional opinion of this and that, blah blah blah. You know what they're like, and the assholes of about them being professionals and yeah, I mean like I'm ensuring to show that well these people weren't professionals because a professional will follow the law and adhere to the law as a professional. Yeah, I mean, to say that, well, they're deliberately withholding information and redacting stuff and not giving any reason why they're redacting anything. They're just doing it just for, there for, I guess, to hide certain information because they have the power. I don't understand how they got this into law and how they made this work into the law, the environment where they can decide to withhold certain information for no reason than they deem it possible can cause harm to me or others. Yeah. So, i.e., in other words, some cunt can just come out there and make false allegations against you, and they basically deem it that oh, if you find out about that and that somebody made a report, you might attack somebody as a result. Yeah, I mean, so you can see where that doesn't make much sense on paper. So somebody can make a report about you, yeah. Somebody can make a report about you, and what the NHS does is then report say, oh well, they're not gonna give you the information of what was said about you, or and let you know that any reports were made about you, whether they're false or true. That don't make sense because then they're going to operate off a. It's possible that they're operating off false report. So it's corruption. You get me, innit? Like because there's no stringent reason, or I guess there's no set protocol that determines why they redact stuff in it. It's just based on whoever the request gets in front of their face. I mean, that's it. That's all it is. Whoever gets the request makes the decision on what to release and what not to release. That's it. There's no real parameters they have to operate into. So, like I said, what I've been noticed about the NHS and the police is that both the police and the NHS have the ability to redact information for no more reason. And whoever has the information or is signing the paper fucking decides that oh they don't want you to see that. That's it. That's it. No more parameters. And I don't understand why you would be able to go about that. Yeah. Here's the other strange thing. They don't have to tell you that oh. So it's not like you won't get a bunch of paperwork and you find a bunch of redacted stuff in. Yeah. They can just completely omit it from the report and you're not even aware that that was omitted. Guess what? Yeah. So they can have information. You're not aware that it was omitted. You don't fucking know that it was omitted. You're not even aware that it exists. So yeah. So they're building a case against you for whatever reason. They can do that, not tell you. And how are you supposed to figure out how to go and get access to redacted information? Because what you gonna go to? Because remember, most time mental illness, they're labeling it as paranoid. So what exactly are you going to go to a lawyer and say, oh, you think the NHS is hiding something? Is that what you're supposed to go to them and say? And then I say, oh well, the diagnosis is schizophrenic, and you think they're hiding something. Well, the lawyer look at you like, all right. I was gonna look at you a bit funny, you know? I mean, because you're diagnosed as a schizophrenic, you are saying, oh, you are imagining that the NHS is hiding something. It would be odd, isn't it? Quite strange, isn't it? I mean, so like they facilitate corruption, and not corruption where the little man has a gets rich. It facilitates corruption where the government gets to do certain bad for stuff to people, and they can fuck with it for ages, ages, ages. And after maybe about a 10-year period of you not giving up, then you just might get the information. And say, oh, well, we had the whole time and we thought it was in our best interest or yours because they can literally redact your shit based on saying and based on a terminology of, yeah, they can literally redact your shit based on one simple thing. Or you might be a threat to anybody on that report, or it might be a threat to your mental state. So they get to make that decision. It's not like police officers have never made decision in their own interest to save their own jobs and themselves. It's not like the NHS hasn't done these things. So why are they giving that power to decide that themselves? Because anyway you take it, they be protecting their interests by not having strikes against their name or complaint against them for whatever. You get me? Because if you don't have the information, you can't complain. What is the complaint going to be based off? I mean, what exactly is your complaint going to be based off? Isn't it? I mean, so I don't understand why they do that, and the police can do the same and go to and get what you call PLLs and sealed orders, so they can do bad things and go and say, well, in the interest of national security, you can't you can't have this go out to the public. So i.e. some policeman can fucking break in the quiet and some judge can just fucking decide, all right, well, put it under the national security because they can apply for it. Doesn't mean they'll get it, but they can literally apply for that to be done. Yeah. And when you look at it from that point of view, they have what is it called? They have seal notice, D notices, PLLs, and there's another one I think where they can try any of these avenues to basically get the information from not going out to the public. You know what I mean? And so they could literally break in there and then say, well, we can't allow this to go out to the public because guess what? Oh, if the people view it as racist, it's going to be a bad image on the country and obviously the British people. Bam, cool. The judge is more likely going to agree to that because obviously he doesn't want to know either whether he's racist or not racist. It's just possible that it might help them cover it up just the same because he's good now. He's got the power to agree. You know what I mean? He now has the power to fucking agree to their notion and help them cover up the whole thing as well. They go to the wrong judge and the judge decide no, the state secretary or home secretary they call them their version in England decides no, then obviously they're screwed. But if the home secretary has the same idea of protecting Britain, then you are screwed. You get me in it, like, but it's more likely that they're going to protect the reputation of the country, and it's more likely that they're going to want favors from certain people. You know what I mean? It's more likely these things will happen and they'll make certain decisions hoping for either future favors or having them, I guess, having a bit more protection and being viewed as a loyal servant of the crown, innit? You know what I mean? They can not, based on that, people would know that they can trust them and that. So they're more likely to do these things in the favor of the state, innit? That shouldn't be done. I don't think it should be. I don't think that because both the NHS and the police forces have the same ability to to force non-disclosures on things. You get me? Which it allows anything to be done and the wrong or right people to be in the pipeline where the decision process is done. Um, because it's very likely that important people know important people. It's very likely that they have relationships and friendships outside of their jobs. So it's not like we don't know. Oh, my mom works here. My mom works there. Or my mom can get that. Or Or you got a friend that their lawyer, their dad's a lawyer. You got a friend that their dad's a lawyer. Oh, my dad will help you get that, or my dad will help you in your case. Or your grand uncle is a policeman. He'll try to, man, you know what I mean, use his police powers or friendship in into certain situations if they can. You can see if them things, them simple things are done. Everyone has a mom or a dad who uses their job to, does something. Yeah, we all have some point like that in our lives where something happened, and because of the connections you get around certain situations, we all have them things in life, innit? Yeah, so what you can imagine, like, so you can imagine some, I guess, the head of one of these, yeah, so you can imagine one of these officers with high ranks knows the home fucking secretary. I know the judge and the local judges and stuff. You're screwed. I mean, you're screwed because obviously if they know each other, they somewhat are going to be similar characters, similar behaviors, similar beliefs, similar intent, and similar viewpoints. Because no, you don't really become friends with people that you're not similar with, because that's an associate, that's not a friend, isn't it? And if you're an associate of an individual, then guess what? Your name have common interest. Mm. Yeah, so you understand what I mean? They can be friends with each other, and they can ensure, or they can go to whoever they're friends with and go and have them make the decision that would go in the favor of who wants to hide whatever. So cover-ups can legally be done, you get me? A lot of times in society, people cry out, this happened, that happened, there's a cover-up, um, but the cover-up is actually legal. You know what I mean? Because cronyism, that's what cronyism is, isn't it? So in one squad, but a seven crew. Right, yeah. So cronyism is having your friends hired in certain situations that would fucking benefit you. You get me? Yeah. Yeah. So that's what cronyism is. Yeah. And if that's the case, blood, yeah. If that's the case, then you can see where any system that works miscellaneously. So obviously, um, the government or everybody that's in the government, the police, the NHS, the courts, all these things are government based things, yeah. Cronyism, guess what? They recommend for each other to get the fucking job. So guess what? If something goes bad, they can get each other to kind of stick together. A nation will stick together. Yeah, especially these lot over here. But if you ain't playing ball, guess what? Oh, because of democracy, it's a numbers game. Democracy is a numbers game. So guess what? They can get you out of your position if you ain't playing ball with them. Innit? And guess what? They can do bad things to you and then legally lock it up. Yeah. And then if you, as the person who is looking into it, don't know that, oh wait, the man that made the application and the man that um, accepted the application and signed it, oh, that these men regularly have barbecues on a fucking weekend, then what are you supposed to do? Yeah, because it's only the government that could make that connection and know that that's what's going on. And it's only the government that could investigate such an activity. Yeah. But guess what? You now get caught investigating a judge and some police officer. And you're being looked at in a whole different, you're now having a whole different issue, you get me? Yeah. So they can legally cover up stuff, and that's what I've realized. And the NHS also has the power to do that. I do like intimate kit. It looks sick. But yeah, you can see how it gets dodgy. And the only reason why I know about these things is because what is going on with me. Them refusing to give me information and constantly redacting things and hiding this and hiding that. And I realize that these things legally can be hidden. You get me in. Yeah. Obviously, there are ways to get around certain things, but obviously they can make it long. They can deliberately delay all of that in it. So they won't just hand over this stuff. They'll do all sort of things to delay. I'm hoping, the problem, you just fuck off and stop being bothered, innit? That's really what they're hoping for in the end. That's why sometimes you can see people saying that they've been trying for 10 years for this and that. It's because they're deliberately being delayed, innit? I mean, I don't know how I missed that, innit? I mean, they simply can go about it like that because I've noticed that with the police, yeah. Certain things that went on and I've made reports, like I've had like few accidents where I was not guilty. Twice, I took a car out from Days Finance in 2016. Um, a Vauxhall Astra, like one of them sporty ones, and some Asian guy running in the back of me on what in Wally Range. I called the police and I was like, oh, some guy hit and run in the back of my car. Yeah, some guy hit and basically it was a hit and run. He hit in the back of my car and drove off. And somebody basically, while I'm trying to chase this guy down to try and get a picture of him, these other two Asian guys turned their car across the road and blocked me from basically chasing this guy down in Wally Range, innit? I don't know if they were working together. I don't know if it was an orchestrated thing where they planned on hitting in the back of my car and that. And so he hit the back of my car right near between Wally Range and Alexander Park Road. He was driving like a red box Daihatsu, like one of them type of vehicles. There was two of them in the front. So like I was in the car with this guy who said he's from Holland. That's what he said. He does speak. He does speak in a Dutch. He does have a Dutch. He does speak Dutch. I don't know if he's actually from Holland, but he does speak Dutch. And a guy who said he's from France. Not sure if he's from France. I'm really not sure, but based on where he talks, he's possibly from some French colony. Innit? Yeah, so obviously you can't really tell if they're French or not, innit? Because French colonies speak French. So obviously that is, and both of them two guys were Muslim. The black guy was Muslim and the white guy was Muslim. And these Asian guys like hitting the back of my car while they were in there. So we were coming from football, innit? We were coming from football, all three of us. I stopped off at some guy that worked at McDonald's house, drove out, and after driving out, the red car pulled in front of me. So you got to come out of my man's street and then pull onto the main road between Alexander Park and the houses. He pulled in. He drove. I got in the car. He drove round and stopped right at the basically where you're meant to drive onto the main road. He stopped there, so I pulled around and drove off. Yeah. So I'm driving now. Yeah. And I forgot something at the guy's house. Put my indicator on to turn left down the street. I don't know what happened. Next minute, I just felt like somebody hitting the back of the car, and I thought, what the fuck? So obviously, I could hear Malcolm in the back. That's what it was called, Malcolm. I could hear him screaming like, "What?" hitting in the back. So obviously, I realized right away that somebody hitting the car, but I didn't know who. I didn't know what was going on there. Yeah, I didn't. And I looked back in the rear view. I realized it's the same guys that came and parked right in front of my car, innit? I thought, yo. So I opened my door to come out. Now they put their car in reverse. Yeah, did a 3 point turn. Yeah, proper trip so fast like. So them dices are only little anyway, innit? Them dices are only little. So they did like a 3 point turn anyway. Dead fast. All of a sudden, all these cars just came up in a line on the street right behind me, and I thought, what the fuck? Yeah. So obviously, I'm trying to do the 3 point turn now as well. All these cars just came up like I don't even know where the traffic was. I can't tell you if basically if it was just coincidence that there was so much traffic there. I can't tell you if it was orchestrated, but it just looked a bit fishy, the whole thing, innit? Yeah. So I ended up trying to back up, realize all these cars immediately came behind me. So I turned, went backwards, and then mount the pavement. And then basically, while I'm mounting the pavement, obviously all of that is taking place. That guy's getting away, innit? So he went down this side street. I turned down the side street now, and this car just came up like it had its high beams on. So obviously, the on that road in particular, it's not a very lit road, and it's one of them roads where there's not a lot of street lights like close to each other, innit? So the high beams have a mad effect, it's a blinding effect out there, innit? Yeah. And what then happened now? The guy in the car. He's a bit away from me. I can see him. He fucking sped off. Yeah, the car turned and act like I don't know if he was turning into his garden. I don't know, but there was another set of Asian guys in the car, innit? Because they turned in and they stopped in the road instead of just driving into the garden if that was their intent. Unless it was their intent or they couldn't drive, but for some reason they turned crossway the road and the Dutch guy's like, yo, what's going on here, bro? That's weird, isn't it? So I was like, obviously I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing, innit? I'm not trying to like get in a conversation at that point, innit? You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get in a conversation with them at that point, innit? Because obviously I'm focusing on driving, innit? Because I literally just got the car like 3 weeks ago, like literally about 3 weeks after getting the car. It's on finance. The car was only worth about 5 grand, yeah, and um, yeah, it was worth about 5 grand. That's what I was told when I signed the contract. Yeah. Then what happened now is 3 weeks, yeah, what 3 weeks after. Like it's like it was an '09 plate Astra, like the square shape, like it was proper nice in it, like had like 19-inch alloys on it. It came like that. It was basic like that, innit? So obviously you got the basic version of Astros. That was one like so you got the VXR, which is like the racing version of the platform. And below the racing version of the platform, they just give you like a body kit in it. So yeah, the basic, you got various engine types, engine types. Then you have the body kitted one. Then you have the one that's the racing platform with body kit and 2 liter turbos and spoilers and all that. So mine was in the middle. So it done like what 80 at the time. It done like 89,000 miles. In it. You know what I mean, yo, next like I said, the whole thing just seemed strange. Me coming out of the my man's garden. Like I'm saying, I'm coming from football. I'm coming from football in Fallowfield. Stopped in Wally Range at my man's house. Yeah. As soon as I'm coming out of the house, that guy came down the street looking in it. So I saw him looking in like the direction. I didn't think anything of it. Then he just stopped at the end of the road. I had to pull out in front of him, yeah, and turn left, yeah. Next minute, like I said, I felt the back of the car got hit because I'm just slowing down. Put my indicator on, slowing down. Next minute, I felt the car got hit. I thought, oh, fuck it. I thought, no way. Stepped out of the car to basically see what was going on and see the damages and that. And I hit reverse, yo, the fastest 3 point turn I'd ever seen. And maybe it's because them diets were little in it, so they're easily. they're easily maneuverable and stuff. I put it down to that. So obviously while he's doing that, I jump back in my car. By the time I look up, I can see like pure car lights coming down. Granted, it could just be general traffic on the street. It could just be general traffic, and it's just coincidence, yeah. But then again, I did my thing, went forward. Like so, I went forward, went left, and then turned right. And back thing, went over the pavement. Now, bam, he's like a bit away from me. He turned like the second right hand turn. So I sped across, yeah, went down the road again. He's got a bit of distance on me because obviously me jumping in the car, coming out of the car. Obviously he's still in his car driving, and yeah. And what happens at that point now? Yeah, I fucking went down the street. Like I said, this weird car just like I felt like I got a bad feeling like he was purposely trying to block me. Innit? I did feel like that innit? Because it turned his high beams was on. And I don't know if it was high beam. Well, trust me, them light were more than bright, way too bright, way too bright. So I'm assuming it's high beams, and obviously that's causing visual problems for me. Then while he turned his high beams on, the fucker then turned in the way, innit? You know what I mean? And I thought, yo, and I started looking at it like thinking like, yo, these men like. So anyway, I'm trying to focus. My guys that it was like, oh, this is weird, bro. What's going on? You know what I mean? So obviously I'm upset in it because I'm thinking like, yo. So obviously these man fucking something went on there. Bro. But anyway, I reported to the police and I was like, yo, yeah, somebody hit and run my car, innit? I mean, somebody hit and run my car. He's like, oh, did you get a license plate? I was like, nah, I couldn't because he drove off, innit? They're like, all right, okay. I was like, well, we're gonna send you a letter to your address, blah blah blah. To this day, I haven't got that letter about the report. I've done two Freedom of Information acts, and that report is not on there. You get me? Another time, a stagecoach bus hit my car. The same car again. Is that they were targeting this car? So these Asian guys hit the car, drove off. The stagecoach, this white driver, hit the car, and he's like, oh, he's been driving buses for the last 20 years, and he's never had an accident before. So I said, well, you never had an accident before. You fucking have one now, innit? At the time, my baby mum, I went and I just dropped her off, yeah. So I was trying to go into McDonald's because I worked there as well at the time, innit? So obviously she took my lighter. I said, we're just going for my lighter casually. Yeah, this red car, this Jewish white man was sat in there. I could tell he was Jewish. He was blocking the back of McDonald's. I was like, yo, move your car, innit? Yeah. So bear in mind, somebody hit the back of my car. Yeah, a couple months prior to that, because I didn't have that car for more than 6 months. Yeah, so I had this back of my car. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna use my insurance to fix it. So the back of the car had that dent in from that situation. Obviously, it was just the bumper. It weren't like structural or nothing like that. So yeah. So anyway, um, so this guy was parked in front of the McDonald's car park. He was parked in front of the McDonald's car park. He had a Mazda, old, like one of them older versions, Mazda 323s in it, like that shape. So he's parked in front of the car park, so I can't get in. So I was like, yo, move the car, innit? I'm just parked in the middle of the road. I've got my indicator on to turn right. He's like, what he tried to do was get me to park in the bus spot in the road where the bus stop is, so they could ticket my vehicle because they were targeting my vehicle with tickets. So I think that's what he tried to set up. And for some reason, this busman couldn't wait and was impatient and tried to squeeze past my car, like snap the fucking axle, the rear axle, because I don't even know. He doesn't. I don't even know how he snapped the rear fucking axle. Like I'm stationary. Obviously, I've got my foot on the brakes. Whatever it was, clip the wheel, snapped the rear axle when I got out. Yeah, the fucking car that was blocking the place the whole time. He moved as soon as the bus hit me. I shouted because yo, I thought again they come and fucking hit the car again and get me in it. When I look, I couldn't believe when I looked at it, it was a fucking bus. You know what I mean? Like, because I thought someone just ran in the back again and get me. I couldn't believe when I looked to my side and see this big old fucking stagecoach bus like running past my car. And how he snapped the axle, I couldn't tell you. Because there was no scratches on the vehicle itself. It was mad, innit? Like, I don't know how you make sense of that. I don't know what on that vehicle could have done that. I don't understand how it was done. To me, it doesn't make logical sense. The left side of the vehicle had no scratches on it. The bus came on the left side, caught something on the rear wheel and fucking snapped the axle. I'm talking like the rear wheel was pinned in like you have a full lock on your front steering. That's what it was like. And I looked at the side of the car, I thought there's no scratches on the side of the car. So how did he snap? How did he get to my fucking alloys to snap it? So anyway, I walked over, I got out of the car, I thought, fuck's sake. The car's in the middle of the road on Chapstow Street. Yeah, the bus driver has pulled off. I looked at and still saw the car, the red car there, innit? So all of a sudden he moved from in front of the place and he wouldn't move prior till the bus did what it did. So I took my phone and I went over. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what was about to happen next. I don't know. I couldn't tell you at this point. Innit? So I took my phone out and I'm walking over there like I just simply say, why the fuck you didn't just move the car with that? Because look what happened now. So as I'm walking over to him with the camera, he just sped off like he just sped right off. Yeah, he saw me come out of the car and come into his direction, and he fucking just legged it, nearly hit these like it was this little kid passing on the side with his family, and he had his hood up. How he tried to speed off, he almost hit the kid in it. So I looked at him and I thought, yo. So I thought I switched my attention to the bus driver because I thought, yo, that's weird. Why did you just speed off again, innit? So another incident was things are happening and people are speeding off. It's like they don't want to be identified. But obviously, for the 5 seconds before the bus hit me, I saw his face. He had blue eyes. He had like silver darkish hair. Like he's like he's old, isn't it? It's like so. You know they say people have dark features. He's one of them dark features, blue-eyed white guys. He's obviously of like the Jewish start of origin, isn't it? But he was graying, in it, so I could tell like he was like early 50s, late somewhere around that, innit? Dead slim guy. So he didn't move until the bus hit me. As soon as the bus hit me, he moved from where he was. As soon as I got out of the car, started. I didn't run. I didn't say nothing. I just walked across the road slowly towards him. He sped off. So I said, "Oh, all right." So I set my sight on the bus driver. The bus driver, like, I knocked on his window. He's like, "Oh, he's calling his office." I was like, What was he doing?" He's like, "Oh, he was blowing the horn, and I didn't hear him move." I was like, "Blood, you hit my, you hit my car." Yeah, I'm like, "You hit my car because I wouldn't move out your way." Is that how driving works? Is that how the law works? Is that how the driving law works? Yeah. If an obstruction is in front of you, don't you either way or try and go around it? If there's space, there obviously wasn't space because you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have hit my car. You certainly would have gone on the. You wouldn't have undertaken me. You would have fucking overtaken me because legally that's what you did. You tried to undertake me. So, as far as I know about the law is, if there's certain circumstances when you can undertake, but if you somehow hit somebody while you're undertaking, you're 100% in the wrong. That's how the law works. There is certain specific situations where you can. If there's no other choice, yes. But you fucking hit somebody when you're undertaking, it's like running into somebody's back, you're automatically in the wrong. He's like, oh, I have 20 years of driving experience. I've never had an accident. I was like, you had one now. Anyway, I left him there, went on go and get my baby mum. And the bitch took his side. I looked at her. So I've got her, I've got him, I've got the guy in the red car, yeah? All three of them are white Jewish people with like Jewish background, yeah? And my baby mom was taking this bus driver's side, look. He's like, I can't remember what she said, but I ended up saying, I said to her, you know what, just fuck off and go about your business, innit? She starts crying and saying, see, this, that. I'm looking at her, I said, yo, the fuck off, man. I called you here to be a witness for me, not to take up for some white British money and get me. So fuck off, innit? That's what I said to him. So anyway, I walked off now. I went to sat at the bus stop. I took a picture of the driver. He stood up there at the side of the bus where the numbers are. I took a picture of him. So I sat on the bus stop. I was so fuming, but like I'm thinking like them Asian guys hit my car. Now it looks like based on what is going, the pattern of behaviour, it looks like they blocked me on purpose to delay me so the bus could come around and do what hit my car. Guess what? The insurance company now only gave me £2,000. I was like, well, the value of the car is 5 grand. Why are you giving me only £2,000? The guy on the insurance said, well, actually, the value of the car isn't £2,000. It's actually valued at £3,000. And the time, this was 2016. Yeah, 2016 when I took the car out. Yeah, I had the accident in June 2016. So it was a '09 plate, so it was registered in the first half of the year. Yeah. So '09, 10, 11, 12, 13, well, quicker than a 16. It's like a 7 year old car, 1.8 litre. The package that it comes with is like, it's called an SRI pack, basically with the body kit and all that comes with the vehicle. Yeah. And he's like, the car is valued at 3 grand. I was like, 3 grand. I was like, you mad? He's like, well, he says that's what he says on his thing. So I said, well, the people that sold me the car gave me the car at 5 grand. So you're telling me the car is valued at £3,000 and they put £2,000 on the fucking price and they didn't feel the need to tell me because you go to a store, do you ask how much the car is valued? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if other people would, but obviously I didn't. And I felt like, wait, I felt like I was stitched up from the start, innit? Like, I felt like I was stitched up from the start with the car, and that's why they kept on banging up the car, because it's as if the point of it was, all right, yeah, the car is only worth 3 grand. Guess what? He's got to pay 2 grand extra anyway. Let's just bang up the car, and now he's gonna have to. His premium's gonna go up as top of that as well. Yeah. So it just seemed like they just targeted the car. Yeah. I only got 2 grand for it, which I don't know how it makes sense because if the car was worth 3 grand, I swear they should have replaced the car. They didn't replace the car because they didn't give me the full price. I'm not an expert at insurances. At the time, I didn't know anything. I clearly didn't have anyone to help. At the time, I was in London. My mom and dad was there. My dad seemed to don't know anything about insurance. He drove buses himself. He drove cars himself. He's been here since 1996. So I don't understand how he knows nothing about finance and insurance, but he was of no help as usual, innit? You know what I mean? He was of no help. Yeah. He was of no help as usual. So I had to deal with it all by myself and them two people paid no mind to the situation. You know what I mean? Nothing at all was said, nothing at all was done, yeah? And I thought, wait, and I started looking back and I thought, oh, these men are setting me up. Like, and this was 2016. Because the little red box that's driven by the Asian guy fucking hit the back of it. The red Mazda driven by this white Jewish guy blocked me enough for some white bus driver to come and hit the car. Just doesn't seem like them things are coincidences. So obviously, it's not like I can go out there and hunt man down and you know what I mean. It's not like I have that option because guess what? There's so many of these cunts are just gonna run to the police anyway and call my name to the police. That's what they're obviously setting up, isn't it? Because anything I do in retaliation, the little fuckers are gonna use the police against me, innit? Obviously, who wants to walk into a fucking police trap? I don't care. You'd be a fool to walk into that trap, innit? So obviously, all of this what's been going on for the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years is that they can't get me to walk into their police trap, and I'm trying to guess what? I'm trying to set them up back like they're setting me up, innit? And I'm obviously winning. I'm obviously fucking winning. And guess what? That's why they can't come and arrest me. Is because all of these things. They can't deny the existence of the car. And the question in that courtroom is, what happened to the fucking car? Obviously, I'm gonna say exactly what I'm saying. No, innit? So what they did was try to wind me up, and obviously, whatever co-op or correlation between these Asian and white people, I don't give a fuck about them. I don't care. Yeah, I know I'm by myself. I ain't got no friends because what they isolated me. So it's not like I could send man from here and go and get man white off or whacked or whatever you want to call it. It's not like I have the option. So I have to do it my fucking self. And obviously the police is sat there lying and waiting for me to take that option, innit? So all of what they're doing is because they know they lost, they know they failed. And I'm no fool, innit? I know they're sat there waiting, innit? And I don't care what a man wanna say out there. This is not some third world country where you can sneak around and take the risk. You're going to get fucking caught because you're already anticipating it. You're already sat there listening to everything you say, watching your every move. As soon as you leave your house, they have people telling them shit. Because if they have them Asian guys doing that, they have them white guys doing that. They obviously have these neighbors and people watching me. Yeah. Every time I leave my house, they fucking know. So it's not like I wouldn't stand a chance. I just have to fucking blow away any random person seen. It's not like I could go after the actual people who did it. I mean, but when I check I've done two Freedom of Information acts, yeah, and none of these accidents, neither the hit and run by them Asian guys, nor the bus hitting my car, none of them. And how do you claim insurance without a police report? I'd like to know. Yeah, I mean, how do you claim insurance without a police report? It can't be done. Otherwise, it's fraud, isn't it? You know what I mean? So I realized what is going on. Obviously, they thought they were G's. I don't know who fooled them into believing that. Because the only reason why some of them are still cool or it's okay is because I'm not stupid and I can't see myself out of trying to, I guess, prove. Yeah, 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 yeah. I've got nothing to prove to any of these fools right there. Yeah. I've got nothing to prove to anyone but myself. Yeah. I don't care about how society looks at me as a person. I couldn't care less. You know what I mean? Like I held it for years. I said nothing. I tried to find my way into getting what needs to be done. And everywhere I turn, I keep realizing that all right, okay, cool, cool, cool. So obviously, I'm not a fool. Why am I going to just walk out there, get myself locked up, so they can just say, well, all right, he's not a pussy after all. Oh, why would I do that? You know what I mean? I'm no fool. So obviously, what they try to set up in it. Oh, they're going to do these things, spread rumors, and if he tries nothing, guess what? We'll set the police up to watch him and that, innit? You know what I mean? So if he ever tries fucking anything, they'll grab him, innit? So they're the cowards, they're the one that did it. They're the fucking cowards, innit? I mean, I don't care, innit? They're the cowards who, or I guess that's England, innit? I mean, they're cowards, but I mean, because they wanted to do all that, but they wanted no retaliation towards them. So they had the police get involved and telling the police whatever they're telling them, innit? You know what I mean? So, cause trust me, they isolated me, they ensure that it's not like I could tell anyone or set up any plot and let somebody else do it and get back at them. It's not like I have the option either. So you can see they directly ensure that they could not be retaliated against in any way, shape, or form. Innit? The cowards, but they ensured that they couldn't be retaliated against. And the moment I tried to retaliate against them, they would have so much fucking plainclothes officers just lying in the way, ready to pounce on you. The cowards, but like cowards. I mean, absolute coward. Well, if I can't get them one way, I'll get them the legal way, innit? And they obviously they can't seem to do anything about that. So it does prove the things that I'm saying isn't made up on a fantasy. That these things happen, and it was meant to set me up in it because they can label it as oh special operations. Nah, it's entrapment because they want to harass and bully you, and then use the police to protect themselves in it from retaliation against them. Innit?
Then got a letter last week from the finance manager saying that all my personal details had been, it was titled data breach, and all my personal details had been forwarded by human error to a third party. And they've checked it up. The third party denies all knowledge. Okay, what sort of personal details? Name, they list them, my name, address, telephone number, email address, national insurance number, bank number, quite a lot of stuff. Quite a lot of stuff. Okay, so excuse me. Under the Data Protection Act, yeah, the local authority is not allowed to do that. I mean, we know that, of course, they can't sell data to somebody else. You can get if you suffer any financial loss. So if you're the subject of fraud and you lose money as a result, you can claim any financial losses off the council. You can also claim for upset, distress, and injury if you haven't suffered fraud. Well, I sent my email back and I says the stress and inconvenience. I mentioned that in my email to them. Okay, tell me out of 10 how distressed are you, Robert? Well, I'm pretty happy. Not happy, but I'm calm. But my wife is a warrior, so she's a warrior. So, oh goodness, the Lord doesn't let Mrs. Roberts sue, it only lets Robert sue, I'm afraid. And is she driving you mad? Is she driving you mad, Robert? Because that can be your distress and upset. Yeah, it was a joint claim, so.
Yeah, so I'm being driven mad. I'm distressed and upset, and I can't get any lawyers in Manchester to take my case. But it's very definition. They know the fuck, and guess what? They don't want the case to be brought against them because they certainly don't want these type of details to be in that courtroom. I know exactly what I'm doing and saying, so trust me. They know it. I can claim for distress and harm and all these things. You get me in both for separate situations with the child's mother, my old mother, the police not investigating and doing their job properly, the NHS, the FIFA. I could go away. That's why obviously they can't allow the claims to be made, isn't it? I mean they can't allow it because there'd be so many claims in there and it would look suspicious that all these things are happening to one person, you get me in it. And nobody's doing anything about it. I guess nobody cares, isn't it? And all of that is intended to have you attack them. Having Greater Manchester Police and Counter-Terrorism Division lying in wait for you, innit? Because the only way they can even stand a chance in that courtroom is one simple way, is simply by going about it by stitching you. I mean, that revelation came just days after the US government issued a critical alert to Windows users concerning the extraordinarily serious curveball crypto vulnerability. And now this 250 million Microsoft customer records spanning an incredible 14 years in all have been exposed online in a database with no password protection. The data was accessible to anyone with a web browser who stumbled across the databases. According to the report issued by the security researcher team at CompareAttack, no authentication at all was required to access them. The nature of the data appears to be that much of the personally identifiable information that was redacted. However, the researchers say that many contain plain text data, including customer email addresses, IP addresses, geographical locations, descriptions of customer service and support claims, cases, Microsoft support agent emails, case numbers and resolutions, and internal notes that have been marked as confidential. While this may seem like no big deal considering the number of breaches, many of which affecting even more users, the thing to consider here is that Microsoft support scams are already rampant, and it doesn't take a genius to work out how valuable actual customer information could be to the fraudsters carrying out such attacks.
And it puts users at a severe disadvantage and risk of being exploited by someone pretending to be the very company they trust. Microsoft Security Response Center posted a response dated January 22nd, 2020. In that post, they confirmed that the exposure of the database started on December 5th, 2019 as a result of misconfigured security rules and was fixed on December 31st. It's not known at this point if the databases were accessed, but it seems very, very likely. Since White Hat security researchers picked up on the issue and even replicated its data to their own servers, it's very likely bad actors also got their hands on it. Just yet another. Yeah. Just another. What is going on? It's Microsoft. Yeah, it's like, what do you say? It's like. Yeah. That's a disheartening story. So I guess what it comes down to is the only thing we can say. I mean, sure, you're face bombing. I'm disgusted. You as potential victims need to understand that you just need to be very, very conscious that this has happened. You have to be very conscious that phishing scams and now spear phishing scams exist. So these are now, they have your information. You have a Microsoft account, right? You've contacted their support or activated software. So now somebody can call you and say, I'm calling from Microsoft and I've got your case number here and blah, blah, blah. And I've got enough evidence on this piece of paper to be able to prove to you that I am who I say I am. Yeah, just like the last time we spoke, when we offered you this and this and this. Remember that? Yeah. Remember the time that you called just a couple of weeks ago and we talked about this and that? Oh, yeah. Okay, well, we just found out that there's another exploit, and so I need to remote into your computer to fix that for you. Exactly. So all of a sudden, there's this. Okay, wait. Hold up. So here's what you need to do. Hang up the phone. Yes. Okay. Microsoft does not phone its users. Microsoft will not offer you support. That's not the industry that they are in. That's not how they work. And so just understand that. And maybe if you just at least make yourself critical enough to be able to say, Microsoft does not offer this service. If you can just say that to yourself, then maybe that's enough to protect you. So that when that call comes in or when that email comes in, that you just don't click it. Remember, last week we learned as well. Last week we learned that a new form of cookie attack.
Like I said, Delta knows what is going on. Why is Delta agreeing to that? I don't know. She must be scared of them. I don't know what kind of mother would be scared to stand up for her own. Innit? I get me, innit? Who do you run to if you can't run to your own mother? Who do you run to? You know what I mean? If you can't run to your mother, who the fuck do you run to? But most of us, you get in problems. You run to mommy, innit? You know what I mean? At the very least, that's what you do. You run to mommy, innit? And she have no service because I can message her now. And so actually, as soon as this game messages, I'm a messenger now. Yeah, and I put the message online. What I messaged her, I show that there's no reply given when I finish playing this game, innit? So obviously she's involved in it. I'm gonna stitch her up like she's trying to help me to do me. It's quite simple. Fuck the lot of you, innit? You pussies ain't scared of you, man. You're the man that's hiding, innit? So every time you use one of them, they disappear off the radar and they can't be found. So exactly, I'm compromised, innit? Where the state is leaking my private information and targeting me and using some wannabe gangsters to chat shit in it and go on like the bad in it and make songs that sound like an indirect phrase in it. Completely compromise my personal information, my house, address, game, everything. So me putting my address online, it was already done. Yeah, I mean, it was already done. I didn't leak; it was already leaked. Yeah, they're going around telling people my private information. Everyone knows where I live because guess what? The police is working with these guys, and it's not the first England has done stuff like that where they tell the community that you're a risk to the community. They tell the community that you're a risk to it and tell everybody about you and to keep an eye out for me. If you see this man, call the police and shit like that. It's not like they don't do stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's not like they don't do stuff like that anyway. So I know they can't come and arrest me because they would fucking lose. They know it. Because the community would know that well you people did do that. Yeah. Whether or not they agree with me, they would know the truth and know that well they did leak his information to be honest to all of us. You know what I mean? They do. They would know and say, well, you did compromise the guy and did go around saying stuff about him. You did ask the public to help the government keep, and that you need to work together to keep each other safe from some threat that doesn't exist that they created because they are covering up child abuse, and that the officers in particular who are involved are somehow connected to child abuse and pedophilia and that sort of stuff. I'm willing to ask to be proved for it to be proved because it would be too easy, way too easy. Because the simple, when they say, "Can you prove your allegations?" I say, "Well, why did Delta not want me to know that this is going on? Unless she's ready and prepared to say, well, she was not told about all of these things because guess what? I guess, they wanted me to give her the full details, and I weren't giving her the full details. I wanted to see what she knew. You get what I'm saying? I wanted to know what she knew, and she's claiming she has no idea about any of it. Or she says she doesn't live down there, so she doesn't know what's going on down there. I was like, you're lying. I can blatantly tell that you're lying because when my car got wrote off and the insurance stuff, I asked you and Michael, and you and Michael both weren't of any help to me, and then didn't. So I can more than prove that she knows and she's involved, and why would she be picking up for them? Was where was your father's experience? I'm sure he would have had accidents at some point. I'm fucking sure he would have been in situations where he had to claim insurance. I'm sure he would know how insurance things goes. He was of no fucking help to me. And I was in London at the time when I made the claim for my insurance. We go on the police record. I've got an electronic subject request app from the police and a paper copy. And none of them shows the incident with the bus station. She knows what is going on. So I'm gonna message her now. I'm gonna message her now and say I need my birth certificate. Because I want to cut her off. I don't want anything to do with it. And she's trying to hold on to my birth certificate for some reason. Yeah. Yeah. So they think I didn't know what was going on. I knew everything. And I knew everything that what they were doing. Yeah. So if you look at this, yeah, so I'm gonna bring my screen wide open. I don't care how nobody feels. So I'm gonna bring my screen wide open. So let me turn my camera. So yeah. So seeing so is it. So if you see it there, hey, where the camera is. See it right there. So if you see it there since Saturday, I messaged her on Saturday. And messaged her on Saturday. That's me in green, no reply. Message her on Saturday, me green, no reply. Message her on Sunday, no reply. Message her on Monday, 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 no reply. And this is my mother. Yeah. So you can see if I go up to the top, it says Delta. That's what I say her name was Delta. Delta abusive mother. Yeah, so you can see all the messages. You can see the date. All the messages. You can see the date. You can see the time. No reply. No reply. No reply. No reply. No reply. No reply. Yeah, so you can see all that. Yeah. So now I'm gonna message her and say I want my birth certificate. I want my birth certificate. As you can see, it's easy to see the in when you type it in. So it's now 2:30 a.m. Obviously, you probably asleep. So you can see, click that. Alright, so you can see just now 2:31 a.m. Yeah, my laptop says 2:32. The phone says 2:31. I don't know why my laptop's moving faster. But yeah, 2:31, the 15th of the 11th. So when she replies about my birth certificate, I'll come and post that. Whenever she does reply, I'll come and post that because she knows what's going on. I made sure to investigate the situation myself, come to the right conclusion myself, and I'm doing what is necessary. I ain't scared of you, man. You man are the pussies in the situation, and you man are the one that's hiding. You started drama, and now drama is looking at you, knocking at your door, and because I guess you man thought you were hard, didn't it? Now this is the situation. I mean, you tried to bring the police in on me, and it only backfired on you, man. Bro. Plain and simple, innit? It only backfired on you fools because guess what? The police went and told everybody something. I won't pretend to know exactly what was said, but they did say something. I know that they have a history of saying, "Oh, if you see this man, keep an eye out on him." Man, they have a history of leaking people's information and stuff. So they try to make you look like a bad person and get people to look past the leaking of your information and stuff like that. Because if your information is just leaked all about, people would wonder why is the police allowing that. So they have to make you look like a bad person to justify it. So obviously, what the intent was to spread rumors, spread lies, make the community scared of me for with whatever rumors and lies, stitch me up behind closed doors, leak files, evidence, and videos of me as some sort of perpetrator. Make me look like I'm abusing all these little British girls in Manchester and wherever. And then obviously people would want you. These man like to tell people to get out of the country, innit? They love to tell people to fucking leave. Like, trust me, you'd find plenty of evidence of such. So obviously the police is quite aware of it. Innit? So obviously they try to stitch me up and lock me up in front and make it look like oh what they were doing was true. Because imagine all of that was going on, yeah. I got upset and tried to go hunt down a man, not realizing that oh shit I was walking into a trap, innit? You'd see my face all over local news, all over the national news, and possibly all over the place, blood. Saying that, oh, man tried to do this and do that, and that's what they would have done. That's exactly how it would have played out. It would have been all over the local news in Manchester, Northwest, and national news, And now they have to hide because guess what? I'm still coming at them anyway. I just know what to say and what they're trying to plan. That's their problem, not mine. Well, I'm still coming at you, man. Anyway, the difference is I got my story before I got in court. Innit? So it's your story about against mine, isn't it? I'm sure you're gonna have 90 million witnesses, and I won't have one. I'm sure that will make give credit to my story of some sort of compromised position within this country, innit? And that you deliberately sent me to Coventry. Hence why I have no witness. I weren't never meant to know. I was meant to be caught off guard, plain and simple, innit? The smoking gun, innit? That's what they wanted, innit? I was meant to be caught with the smoking gun, you know what I mean? I was meant to be caught with the AK, you know what I mean? I was like, hilarious. Yeah, man, I was meant to be caught with the AK-47, you know? Yep, I was meant to be caught with the AK. So, obviously, I'm still coming after them for what they've done because I think they deserve it. I do believe so for what they've tried to do. Yeah. Still coming after you anyway. The difference is I'll be able to say in court what you've done and prove that I have nobody to play witnesses, whether visually or character witnesses. Look at my history. I have no friends or family. My child mother refused to put my name on the birth certificate, which means she's ensuring that I have nobody to talk to, nobody to confide into, which more likely means they were trying to have me kill myself to protect scam the British government scam on what they call national security, with them attempting to set people up. So they went from trying to set me up to eliminate me, making it look like I eliminated myself through self harm. Mhm. Yeah, he went from trying to set me up in the public eye by compromising my information, compromising my house. Anytime I moved, they come there and tell everybody. So they get the landlords to kick me out, get the people to harass me, not fix the house, no heating on in the house, blah blah blah. So eventually you just keep moving, and that gives them a reason to tell more. Everywhere I go, they tell people about me every time. They know they fucked it, innit? Because who can argue that that would make sense? And that's what they tried to do. And because I was asking questions, because I knew certain things anyway, so I was trying to confirm it. They tried to have me take myself or eliminate me through self harm. So I might go five at the back for this game, because he's got five at the back. So, so I might go five at the back. Like I say, over 21 hours at his very least playing these three games. Every time I get here, I lose the game in some mad scoreline. They score six, 7 goals. Defense won't work, lagging. So watch lag start up. Lag is gonna start happening in a minute because, like I said, my information is compromised. My IP addresses, my IME numbers. These things are all compromised. Man, can't move. Yeah, so they basically compromised my whole life, and then whoever they have doing this to the game, they have obviously have hackers all over the place. So they thought they were clever, innit? Yeah, there's no turning back, blood. Like, you might have to finish it, innit? If you don't finish it, I'm gonna finish it, but I'm still coming after your team for what you have done. So you can see through his legs. Somehow he managed to tackle. He's running with me, and he somehow managed to take control of that defense and stop me from running through with the ball there. So these are the guys. These guys that I'm talking about, they're the one behind. And I said the intent was to have me locked up in the prison. When that failed, they went to having me involuntarily locked up in a psychiatric facility. And that failed. They're forcing me to commit self harm to eliminate myself, so that way the investigation wouldn't go far. It would just be deemed as he did it to himself. Completely compromised. And this might be England. This might be what humans do. So it's just one of them situations. He did it to the wrong person. You know what I mean? Like, either way, it's what people do, innit? It's what you do, and doing it to me, my response is what I do, innit? I mean, You can see the stitch man up the whole time.
Yeah, the 8-4 goes for the knockout pack, please, brother. The 8-4 by threes is just not, they just weren't that good.
Like I said, any day you see me cry, blood, trust me.
We can get the elite
Anywhere I see you, I'm going out here, blood.
Portugal. Then back. Manchester City. And it's a bit of Ruben Diaz, trailblazer. He's a bit slow, but other than his pace, he's super legit. Yeah, he's worth about 2-3 times the SBC price as well. That's not bad.
Down the line.
Right, the 8-4
Yeah.
goes to the knockout.
I don't know what these Dembeles are, but these Dembeles might as well have Van Dijk on the back of the shirt. Trust me, these Dembeles might as well have Van Dijk on the back of their shirt.
Back in an SBC, yeah, that's tough. Alright, next up. Benfica on 0 points, are they? So we could, in theory, get one more up or one upgrade if they won both second games, like both last games.
So you can see, I told you lag was about to happen.
He's decent. I like him.
Yeah, which it won't come up now. You can see my ping went up behind the controller. So I'm actually go after this game, win or lose. I'm gonna go check where is the ping. Is the ping meant to be shown below the controller on Xbox? I'll show you that some cunt moves it. I tell you, I'm coming after you, bro. Win, lose or draw, I'm coming at you, man. I just need to make sure the police is blatantly proven to be behind it, so they can't protect you with pussy or the other.
Another one. Material again. Cool, yes. Cool. Unlucky, Matty. Come on, yeah, let's get a big one. Harry Kane is the best one so far. 270k. German. Left back is quite accurate, isn't it? Oof. That's tough. That's tough. I don't think he'll play for the thing ever again now, will he? Suspended for the last game and then they got knocked out, didn't they? Or did they go through? Either way, he's going to be missing 3 games. So he still might not play for them ever again. Right, next up. England. Centre mid. Oh dear.
I said, yo, Dembele might as well have Van Dijk on the back of his shirt.
There are even cards. The better than Henderson. That's tough.
I mean, Dembele might as well have Van Dijk on the back of it.
Next up. French. Right back. Still Dilio.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, he is. So, I mean, he can play centre back.
Back to him again. Like the positioning that these guys have is crazy good. And it can't be the positioning, it means that my controller is locked to passing the ball to them. You realize that I turn over the ball all the time. And it's virtually impossible because it's relative. So make sure when you people are telling people that, oh, is that I'm shit at the game, tell them that, oh, well, it's really meant to be relative where it passes the ball. The AI is meant to direct it to the opponent, but it does seem that it goes to them more often. Ensure in your what's the word, your response to my allegations to deny your actions. Make sure you're telling that it does seem to go to the opponents more often than it goes to him, and you might have no idea why. So just make sure that is the case. So people are aware that it does seem to go to his opponents more often. And that shouldn't really happen because the game is designed as relative direction. So anybody on your team in free space, as long as they're pointing in the relative direction, it should more often go to them or not. Unless somebody reads the play and they ain't reading the play, then just the ball just rolling to them all the time.
Really good play styles or something a bit more unique about them. But yeah, I think if you had a full team of women, I don't think you would do very well. I don't think your average player would do very well. Because obviously, if you're like a pro player or a competitive player or something, then yeah, you probably still want to get max wins. And this left back. And I would say either. He's actually got a decent card, hasn't he? Yeah, he's very well rounded, this guy. Very nice. 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, insane shooting stats,
I mean, he won't pass the ball. What you notice is I'm doing more turning than passing for some odd reason. Look, ball going to the Jalo. Like you say, if you look, I'm gonna Google what relative means and what relative direction is, and that's how England makes the controller, not England. That's how Xbox and games are made. It's the relevant direction. You don't need to be pinpoint accurate. That's what the AI assist is for. Is to help with your accuracy. So it's meant to be relative. So if you watch what happens here, relative, they just put the ball in a general direction, and the AI is meant to direct it to you. But what you're noticing is there's no relativity for me in it. Right? So watch this here. Watch this here. Yeah, just watch it. So he can't score the whole time. Watch him come score now, right? He couldn't get a chance at the net the whole time. Just watch this guy just come and score. You notice I just keep getting lags. So I'm gonna Google what relativity means when it comes to controllers in game, and I'm gonna Google where the ping is meant to be shown. Is the ping icon meant to be behind the controller? Watch him head the ball first. Watch him head the ball first. Yeah. Get the ball. Get the ball. Stand up. Yeah. Yeah, both of them players offside. Yeah, what's gonna happen now? So him having five at the back should give me relative ease because he's got one less player to attack me in it. So the only way you should really find a problem with five at the back is when you are trying to break them down in the box. But otherwise, I should be able to just keep the ball and just kill time like this because he doesn't have enough players up front unless the ball fucking does that. Yeah, so now get up there down the line. Yeah, yeah, get past him. Yeah, there. See De Jong there in the center. Give her Rodrigo, Rodrigo, Rodrigo. Yeah, yeah. All the way across. Push it past him. Give him there. All the way around. I should relatively be able to do this for ages because he's focused on defense rather than attacking. So I should be able to just do this, and he shouldn't have anybody unless he's gonna break his five at the back apart. He shouldn't have anybody to come and challenge me. You know what I mean? He shouldn't have anybody to come and challenge me. Yeah, there you go. So give it there. Behind, no. Yeah. Can't move forward to get the ball. Simple touch wide. I mean, yeah. All the way out. I mean, yeah. Through the center, no. Yeah. Stand up now, stand up now. Let him go for the shot. Yeah. So I'm gonna go five at the back here, just like they have five at the back. Watch this, yes. I'm gonna go at five at the back too. Right, five at the back, yeah, five at the back, five at the back. Is this the best five at the back? No, that one, no, that one. Yeah, I'm going that one. Right, okay, cool. Five at the back. Messi, Rodrigo. Right, okay, so led the king, Loriente. Right, put Neville there, put Loriente out wide, put Pereira there, Maxim there, yeah. So five at the back, yeah. I'm 80 minutes in the game, so I shouldn't really have any issues at the back now, yeah. Did he make the change? Can't tell if he made the change. Look at them two players. Look at them two players right in the middle there, yeah. So right, so what is he doing? What is he doing? Right, kick it away. Right, so now I'm gonna put press overload box on. Yeah, so I've got five at the back, yeah. Five at the back. Shouldn't have any issues. Shouldn't have any issues. Yeah, shouldn't have any issues. Yeah, through the middle there. To Pereira, to him. Don't turn straight around. Messi should get past him. Yeah, so I've got five at the back. Five at the back. Just watch this in it. Yeah, look at how look at how my game is still splitting the defenses up. Yeah, just look at how my defense is still being split up, even with five at the back. Yeah, so him there, back to him. Yeah, there through the middle. Right, shouldn't have any issues going forward. Shouldn't have any issues going forward. Ball roll away from him. Give him there. Turn it back. Go there. 88 minutes there, all the way back to the keeper. Right, yeah. Call everybody back. Call everybody back. Looking for the assist over the top to Loriente. Yeah. Right, kill a bit of time. Right, so I'm meant to have five, but I don't want Loriente there. Madison there. Down the line. Yeah. Keepers. Yeah. Should be able to kill the time. Should be able to kill the time. So we're gonna check where the what's it called? That ping. You can see the 29 in the corner right below my video where I am on the screen. You can see the 29. You can notice it was on the whole time, but for some reason it's behind the controller. And we're gonna see what relative means and what relative direction means and how controller directions are programmed. So over 24 hours played, because I'm at what 2 hours now. Over 24 hours played, um, over a period of day. So 24 hours total in-game hours. Yeah, and to win three fucking games, bro. So I ain't pretending like I ain't angry. And like I say, these men are cowards because guess what? I don't care how nobody see it's a coward act to deliberately attack someone and do your best to ensure that if you are attacked, that you can manipulate the community into taking your side. I'm not with that. I don't like that. Nah, I don't rate these men. But if you're attacking somebody, it's your country. It's your national wise. It's your country. Obviously, you're born here. You have the right skin color, the right job, community support. What more do you need? You get me in it. I mean, it shows you how these men are. Dude. Like, you don't need any more than being born in a country, the government's going to protect you before anything else as their citizen. Yeah, obviously based on even racial point of view, the government's going to protect certain people a little bit more. So what more advantage do they need than that? Innit? These man spread rumors to girls, send girls to set me up and make me look like I've done bad things to them. And they have the cheek to call themselves gangsters, but like that's what I don't get. I find these man weird, but like they're just weird, but like I say I like a fair fight, man. You get me, innit? And obviously you man see the world different. So I must do what me in it. I'm gonna even up the board and make sure it's a fair fight. I don't care what you man do as a result, but I'm gonna be me, but innit? I like a fair fight, but trust me. So like I say tomorrow I'll come and see if I get a reply from Delta. Alright, so where we at now? Right, we got one more that to um so we've got to play I've got to do 10 separate games. No wins it says it didn't say anything about win. I just gotta play them 10 games or whatever is left. I just play it through squad battles. Right, where we at now? So yeah, I'm gonna look at this one. So we're looking at relativity, what directional relativity is, uh, and where is the meme meant to be? Where is the ping icon meant to be in FIFA? So first is the ping icon is a ping icon meant to show show on screen below the controller the controller controller FC24. Right, so yeah, how to show ping in FC. Yeah, yeah. What are EFE? So increase, decrease the amount of error applied to the user's team. First to control from 1 to 0 with an understanding of FC24 game setting. It's now make adjustments as needed or to adjust visuals in ENC. And in addition to adjusting the controller setting, you should also adjust the visuals. Navigate visual in this bar. I don't know what visuals it's on. I don't know what it's on about there. So EA Sports, but first navigate to visuals in this bar. Here you have to scroll down. What is it on about? I don't know what that's talking about there, but we're gonna find out. Innit? Save and exit, right? Yeah. So yeah, default settings in EA Sports are not optimized for a smooth game. So we'll guide you through the best control setting for EA 24 and show you how to remove the playstyle indicator during a match. Why would you want it removed? While navigating the setting of EA Sports, the game for customer control, they are flexible to adjust nearly every aspect of the game to fit your preference. The optimal camera setting on the controller can greatly influence your performance, blah blah blah. One of the settings will boost your prowess in Ultimate Champ. So wondering which setting the new top 100 EFC best controller setting not only for Ultimate Team and online modes. Smoking where to find controller settings. So advanced defending. So it says the best controller settings is directional, auto clearance off, manual jockey, power block on, switching, airballs. I know all that, that's what I use anyway. But that's the best settings, and none of them things are working for me. So preset competitive, auto shot off, assisted errors off, Shot assist, assisting timed on, flare off, semi, assisted, late, normal. This is basically what I use, like exactly. I've never looked at anything like this before, but it's pretty much a carbon copy of what the fuck I use. It's really strange, you know? That is a absolute carbon copy, but every single settings, every goddamn settings, user vibration feedback off, trigger effect. I don't know what that. I don't know this. I've never seen these. I don't know what the hell that is. Controller preference, save assistance, semi. I don't. I would. I wouldn't keep it. I don't. I think semi is the max. Orbital dribbling, off contextual dribbling, analog sprint, trigger effect. What is this? I've never seen these two before. I don't know what is it. What is trigger effect? So controller preference. It was that. So it says now you go back to gameplay and adjust the controller setting details. Here are some of our recommendations. The most important change is highlighted in bold. Below the list will explain why you should change these specific. I don't know what is going on there. I've never seen trigger settings. I've never seen that before. And vibration, control vibration. My control never vibrates, but like I don't know what is going on there. So what is it now? Settings, game settings, um, trigger settings. Yeah, so you doesn't come up there. What is trigger settings? Yeah, what is trigger settings? Like, where is it? What is going on? So it says controller preference there. Analog sprint. Sprint allows you to control how fast you sprint. The further you hold RT, the faster you sprint. Well, I don't have it on anyway, but where is this? So trigger effect and vibration feedback. So we have controller sprint. We have controller sprint. We got trigger effect. Where is it? There it is. So I can't go down any lower. Yeah, let me go back into so game settings all the way down to yeah. I don't understand why that article would have them two things that either exists and it's not in my game for some odd reason, or doesn't exist is one of them. I'm not quite sure. So yeah. So these I see my I keep my controller standard wide true ball, X cross lob. I don't use X for a header. I use B for a header. Pass header. So that's a header where you're passing. That's a clearance header or a shot on goal. Trigger run, LB modifier, shot modifier, protect the ball. So I keep hearing them talking about RB sprint, RB dribbling. I don't know how you RB dribble when LB is the modifier for dribbling, so I don't know what they're talking about there. Protect the ball, sprint, move, tactical mentality. So I keep it on classic. Defense, rush goalkeeper, sliding, tackling, contain, change player, teammate, contain, jockey, sprint, move player, tactical. You get me, right? So I don't want, yeah. Alright, so competitive, custom. Let's see what custom has. Does custom still doesn't give me that word option? So obviously in competitive mode, um, that's it there. Yeah. So like I said, if EA did that based on what has happened in Manchester and England, somebody in England went to tell them. And why would EA Sports just agree to that? Obviously, either because they're all white and it's white people unified, or some compromised information. And I'm going with that. I'm saying it's not EA. I'm saying because EA wouldn't just do that because it doesn't make sense. The game would be too different, and you would obviously make certain complaints. And yeah, they would look at a lawsuit. So I don't think it logically makes sense for EA to do this. So some in Manchester compromise everything I have in my house, compromise my personal life, my personal information, my job security, financial, relationship, my character, completely compromised. And like I said, them things are military strategy. Because another word for compromise is vulnerable. So you're vulnerable to attack. You know what I mean? So game speed, default, attributes, what's that? But I said in default, attributes are modified based on the position of the player to provide the recommended gameplay experience. Turning this setting to the classic will provide the classic FC experience. So default and classic, they want it's the same thing. So I keep on classic. Yeah. So apparently you can lower the amount of you can lower the halves and quick substitutes on. You'll never see that. Once in a blue moon does my quick substitutes come on. For some reason I can't get a decent camera to play. So that camera certainly don't work for me. Broadcast, tele, co-op, so co-op all the way down there. So far side six. Let me see what far that looks like. It doesn't change how it looks. So I don't want co-op. I need something to see all of what I'm looking at. Legacy. So tactical or EA Sports come. Um, one of these two. I prefer the tactical to be honest because you can see the referee there, but you can't see him there. So yeah. So you see tactical allows you to see the referee. That doesn't. Yeah, so I prefer tactical. Penalty zone camera. Adjust the in-game camera zooming when the ball is inside the attacking penalty. Does not apply to pro dynamic or end to end. So yeah, penalty zoom, ball tracking speed. Yeah, so I'll leave it at about 4. Power shot zoom off, visual. So player indicator bar on. So player name bar, player indicator bar, player that. Player name large, player number, player name. So player name, player indicator size small. Default. So yeah, large player indicator fade off. Play start overheads on. Next player switch on. Player base difficulty on. I'll put that on. Hold skip on. Time score on. Score drop down on. Precision pass. Right. Enables or disable precision pass visual. This affects both the precision aim on the receiver. Off. Precision shot visual off. Radar and radar 3D. So put that on blue, red. So opponent is blue, I'm red. Game attack on, net tension, net shape, mesh setting, scrolling lineups, connecting pings. So yeah, ping only, connection indicators only, ping and connection, input only, local input online response only, hypermotion inside. Choose whether you want hypermotion inside augmented reality overlays to appear during breaks in gameplay. So I think that's like them cutscenes of it's on about there. Embracing augmented reality overlays, player performance widgets, toggle and player performance widget overlay in player career and clubs gameplay on and off. Don't know what that does. Rules, blah blah blah. And this language commentary will be during the match. Commentary randomized, sideline commentary on, volume, stadium, ambience, disable critical commentary. I don't want that off. I want to hear what these consoles are saying. Yeah, beyond broadcast, anyway, this is raise the intensity of the atmosphere of the ground. Yeah, use the slider. So, all of these, I don't know if these work. I don't think these should work in Ultimate Team. This is like AI based stuff in it. Yeah, so it's all meant to be 50-50. But if you look at these slider things, yeah, this is what I'm saying about the people that I'm playing. This is not meant to be used in Ultimate Team. It's meant to be balanced in Ultimate Team. But because they've compromised my device, they've somehow turned there up my passing error. So you notice my passes keep missing. Guess what? I'm up to 100% passing errors in my Ultimate Team. So you notice I make pure mistakes when passing. And obviously it's meant to be 50-50. So if you go and play the AI, yeah, outside of Ultimate Team, and you put that fucker on Ultimate and turn all of the CPU errors up, yeah, you realize that they're just making pure mistakes of shit. So this is not meant to work in Ultimate Team. It's meant to be balanced in Ultimate Team. What you can see when I'm playing Ultimate Team, they turn them up for the opponent. So injury severity, pass speed, shot speed, goalkeeper ability, position marking, position run. So you notice they always run up the pitch. They've got their friends on high high position line width. So they're always so wide in space. They're always in the perfect line. Positioning in the full box always beside the wingers. This is what they're using in the game. Because in Ultimate Team, this is there in Ultimate Team, but you don't have access to it as a user. But somebody who is within the system can change that. It's called handicapping. When I was a child, that's what we used to call that. Where you used to have games and you could turn yours up and turn the opponents down. It's basically called handicapping. Accessibility, deterrent, trip, default, brightness, contrast. So to not there to the middle, remap stick functionality, remap no, subtitles no. But what is really curious is why was the other two options? I mean, why don't I have these two options? Because here's an article that basically says it's best to have them on or off. Well, they're not even on my shit to have them on, but yeah. So whether it says trigger effect, I don't know what that means. I can't. If I can't even read what it means, how am I gonna know if I want it on or off? So whatever the trigger effect, I mean, I guess the trigger is LTRB. I guess he's talking about running and that, innit? Yeah, I guess that's what it's on about, innit? So if it's off, maybe it slows you down. Maybe I don't know if it's on. Maybe it slows you down. Maybe it's off. You can get your full speed. I don't know what it means. They're obviously saying it's there. So unless somebody made this fake page to piss people off or confuse them, it's quite strange, isn't it? How to fix controller settings. Controller to keep resting stick and and tired of having to go back. Reset what? Something about control camera settings. Top 100. So best camera setting essential in all foot and other modes. Let's go and see what that one says. So best camera settings is. My senior said that pro gamers and content creators opt for non-standard camera settings While the following configuration may appear unconventional, those customized default settings they are carefully chosen for a specific reason. The aim to achieve and gain benefits through the bespoke settings primarily to provide a wider view of the pitch and to improve the accuracy of passes and shots. Such as adjustment. It's easy to change these settings. Go to the main menu, select the gear logo, right, so you want telebroadcast, custom, zoom 20. I don't like telebroadcast. I can't see much of the pitch because they've done something to it. I don't. I'm not with that. But yeah, so co-op. I don't want to play co-op. I ain't got no friends to play co-op. But yeah. So yeah. So I'm glad I found that. Really good. How to show ping and control it. Alright, so let's go to YouTube. Let's do it through YouTube. Then let's play it that way. How to show ping and control. Let's see what other people's look like. How to show ping and to show show ping and and control control FC 24. I'll probably regret that name, man. I'll probably regret that name. Connection, right, so yeah, alright, let's watch this now. YouTube, man. Let's click on this guy. YouTube game option. I don't want to click on that one because it might be somebody's video. How we how to fix high ping on connection issue. I don't know if I could advanced fix high ping and unlock more FPS. What is that? Well, frames per second. Oh, this shit now. Oh, this info. So it says something about frame rate. Yeah, I can see. Don't know where that is. Wait, what? Is that for a computer or is that for normal Xbox? I mean, what's going on there? So let me pause this. Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking through them things. Innit? So these guys are showing computer shit about FPS and frame rate. I don't have that option as you'll see in my things, but I can't tell. So what does it say that name is? Display configurations. So I want that. EA Sports FC. Um, EA Sports FC. Probably don't like that name at all. No, man. Probably their grand mistake, their grand opening became a grand failure. Immediate dispatch. Actually, hilarious. Immediate dispatch pursue. Mm. So what I've noticed is nobody on YouTube don't seem to have their controllers and pings on screen. I don't understand why they don't feel the need to use it. Which is a very, 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 very strange thing that none of them has any internet problems. Very strange. You see, it's not even Christmas, but look at this fool. They say he's rapping now. I've always had bars. I've never been behind the bars. That's the tactic, no. So they're talking about their men, but sending boys and the bitches. Wow.
Hey guys, we're gonna show you.
They thought they was hard, but now I got my own defense. Now they're shitting now. Now they realize that they're lames and they ain't thugs. They ain't really what they say they're about. They just know how to spread gossip and run them out. They say real G's move in silence. I mean, so what's the gossiping about? So what I'm trying to find is a simple demonstration for people who have control and the ping setting. That's it. I'm just trying to find a simple demonstration, but it seems that it's the most difficult thing to find that piece of information. It does seem like that is the case, isn't it? So dynamic resolution. I think this thing must have computers. Could never be for it could never be for a finger. I just want to see what people's controllers and stuff look like on the screen. Right, so I don't want to use that, guys. I'm just looking for somebody that doesn't get a lot of views. Because more likely they won't use, they won't be trying to fuck around. So this whole frame rate thing, mm, even this, yeah, he's got something that says screen and video input. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that is. So he goes in his settings as PlayStation, So apparently on PlayStation you have video output scene something DVD. I need to see what he went on. Innit? So he went on settings, network, so below network, he went on settings. So that's inside. Is that inside the PlayStation? So you got area share, screen and video output. Yeah, so I think that's inside his actual PlayStation. It's not the actual game. Mm. So like I said, I've got in control and ping in game. I can't work out that nobody has any videos of that. And it's really strange. It's as if somebody definitely don't want me to confirm that. It's not like I need confirmation, innit? I already know, innit? So on to pro get zero ping. I'll click get zero ping. Um, so in game, FIFA. Let's see if we can find a FIFA version. It's FIFA itself. So this guy just has that up there. It doesn't have the controller showing. Game settings. Right, so this guy's got the controller, but it doesn't have the. He's got the controller, but it doesn't have the ping and stuff there. Yeah, he got the controller, but it doesn't have the ping and shit on the screen. That video is heavily edited though. Mm, so I have to check ping and that in game. Yeah, I'm just simply trying to find Rasclad. Just somebody playing with the ping and controller. Because look, none of them have them on there. Innit? Like, none of them. Which is really odd that nobody uses it. Innit? Well, none of them have it on their screen. So I think somebody's messing with my search results, and it's only coming up with people who don't have it. But somebody would have it definitely. Because when EA brought the settings out, when EA first rolled out the settings, people would have it online. So there you go. There's a video of it. And so this guy got 20 scam, right? So you can see on scam video, so you can see. Well, if I can just pause it there, right? So for I could well, 1 minute. Right? Mass it up, right? If I hold that, drag it back there. So if you can see just below the controller, you can see that the numbers, the actual ping is below the controller. It's not fucking hidden behind it. So that's more than enough. More than enough for me. I mean, that's enough proof. That's the only one that has the controller and thing at the same time. So that's more than enough proof that there's a reason why I'm ping. Because somebody has moved the ping from in below the controller to behind it. So you fucking hide it for some apparent reason. Because guess what? They want to DDoS attack and lag me in the game on purpose. But if you just seeing this ping just red, you think like why is it just jumping all the time, you know? So obviously they're trying to hide it behind the screen, innit? So you can see this guy, he's only got 348 views. So I don't think he will be that bothered once it. Yes, as you can see, he's there, the controller is there. You can see it below. So it shouldn't be it shouldn't be a problem. So you can see it there just below. Yeah. So that's enough proof to say something's going on. Somebody has purposely done that. Yeah, so we are now FC controller. So got what I was looking for. I said, alright, so input input rel relative input relativity. I'll just go relativity. Um, relative relativity input relativity. Yeah. So input relativity games input relativity games. Well, open relativity is an open source toolkit to simulate effects of special relativity by varying the speed of light. Developed in the MIT game now. It contains open source code for public use with the free and paid version of Unity engine. Intuitive understanding of track. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Video game um, input input relative relative relativity relativity. Intended for game developers, educators, or anyone interested in physics. Open relativity can help create, test, and share experiments to explore the effects of. No, that's not. I'm not talking about special relativity. The fuck is that? Alright, so controller input relativity. Yeah. Game controller game controller input relativity. What game controller input relativity meaning what's it meaning game controller. So a game controller, simple game controller is an input device used with video games or internet. So the input devices have been classified as game controllers, include keyboard, mouse, and when a device uses a video game or entertainment system. Um, description, keyboards, include directional pad, monitors. A game controller device, typical controller a character. Game controllers were input devices that only provide input to the system or that receive the data from the system and produce removals. Controllers are included with purchases, history, variant, game pad, paddle, throttle, steering, yoke. No. So I'm just looking for how they say how the direction stuff is done on the game. Yeah, so joystick. Triggering relativity for a game. We present how it implements pressure against it seems like a full fucking what's it called now? What was it called now? Yeah. But anyway, I can't be that. I'll figure that. I'll come back another time. Too long. I reckon I can't be bothered. But this is quite concerning that them two things are missing from that. The other two is quite concerning, and them other people had what do you call it? That shit in their game settings in the corner. They had display configuration, some shit. After accessibility, they had another option. Um, right, so I don't know if I'm putting that down to it being for PC. Yeah, I'm putting that down for it being to PC because it must be for PC. Because all that FPS and frame rate refreshing, it seems more like a PC problem that people would have because you can change all that. Innit? These stuff are done specific. Innit? So obviously, I think they have only a certain amount of FPS that console show in the highest FPS that it can, and depending on the game, depending on how much FPS. So I think it's automatic on the game. It's more like the computers that would have to manually do it. Innit? So I reckon that option there is for computers. That one that's at the bottom about trigger and what it says, trigger effect and the other thing. And that's concerning, bro, because I've never seen that before. Yeah, it's definitely concerning me, that one. Alright, so I need to play another game with lead licking. Yeah. Alright, ends in 2 days, right? So that was a 83 squad. That is an 83 with a finger. What is it? Where do you go for these fuckers? The two of them duplicate or just. I can't be out saving any more cards, right? Not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Can't be out saving, fuck it. It's making the process longer than it should be. Right, that's one of them. French, French. You can go, you can go, you can go, you can go. No, Centurions, for violence, 74. Yeah, was it different? I probably should keep that one because it matches them through. Um, uh, I've got a lot. Yeah. Who the hell is Pedro? Fuck off. Yeah. Yeah. Then, yeah. I've got some cards I need to sell. I've got G. I've got Successful. I've got a few cards I need to sell. I'm just waiting for the right. There's no point in selling them now because all them 85 packs, 84s that they're giving them. It wouldn't make sense selling them now. You should sell them when like an SBC comes out and everybody's doing it. Um, that's what, yeah, yeah. You fuck off with it. Um, Gunter, yeah. Um, I keep mine, I keep that one. Yeah, get E-bug. Right one. Yeah. That's another right book up there. Where's she? So right one. Um, right one. 79, 79. Yeah, two. Technically, she's the better one. Not going to. Um, right. Mm-hmm. I think she's gonna forgot. She's gonna forgot. Who the hell is that? I have no idea who that player is. No, I've seen that player before. Uh, I'm not too deep. I guess.
He was being blackmailed by a random account to send him money, or else he shared his nude pictures. He shared these
I
videos
take
on
nude pictures of
many
yourself.
insane these kind of problems. What happened was this guy got a random Instagram call from a profile that doesn't have one. He picked up the call, but the caller's call was like, "Hey, hello, hello, bro." And 5 minutes later, the account sends him a video editing the column with nude videos as if he's watching. And then he baffles that he is going to send this video to all his followers. Now, here are two things that you need to do instantly. One, block the account. Two, upload a story or post informing your followers that you are being blackmailed and called to extort money, telling everyone to be safe from such calls. You need to understand that the blackmailer doesn't even know you and has no personal.
Oh man.
Now, Jones shut down her Twitter account briefly last month after a string of racist and sexist attacks. Many celebrities are speaking out about the new attack. Paul Feig, who is the director Ghostbusters and the remake, saying on Twitter, "What's happening to Les Dog is an absolute outrage. Alt-right haters, trolls, comedians, wherever you all are, you're just sad." Musician Questlove echoing that comment, tweeting, "These acts against Leslie Jones are sickening. It's racist and sexist. It's disgusting. These are hate crimes. This ain't kids joshing around." And Lena Dunham saying, "Let's turn our anger at trolls into love for Leslie Jones and into strategies to protect all the heroines who don't deserve this BS." Right, moving on to some huge news for Prince fans. His estate in the Minneapolis suburbs is now opening to the public. The legendary musician died at his Paisley Park complex after an accidental painkiller overdose in April. His sister says making it accessible to fans was something Prince was actively working on. The fence outside became a memorial after Prince's death. Starting on October 6th, fans can tour his home, studio, and soundstage, and they'll be able to check out thousands of items from Prince's personal archives. Online ticket sales start tomorrow. The company that runs Elvis's Graceland will manage those tours. And next up, Dame Helen Mirren. In addition, of course, to being an outstanding actress, she's known for speaking her mind. She's been doing that for decades, as a video that's gone viral this week proves. The video shows Mirren facing off with interviewer Michael Parkinson in 1975. I'd like you to explain what you mean by my great detail. Well, your physical attributes. You mean my face? No, I meant your. Come on, spit it out. I meant your. My figure. All the people on stage and all the people in the audience overcome such boring questions. Really. Boring questions? Pretty boring in the end, yeah. What's that? So Marion says it was the first time that she'd ever been on a talk show. A few years ago, Marion called Parkinson a sexist old fart. For his part, Parkinson was knighted 16 years ago for his services to broadcasting. I'm guessing he prepped a little more for the next time. Yeah, I think he prepped quite a bit. He was just looking at the wrong parts of his prep work. Tough. Yeah. All right, finally, The Rock. He's the alpha male in any room that he walks into. Not too many people would disagree with that. But in a video he posted on Instagram might be the most adorable thing you've ever seen. Hey guys. With Regina Blitz and Regina Blitz Giant, you'll clean up in a flash. Give us some fucking money. Give us some money. Give us some money. Give us some money. Jokes on him, there's no money on that card. Hey, I'm trying to make it. Hey, what's up? Hey, vlog. Welcome to the channel. Hello, how you going? His videographer Sam, he's back. Oh, he's back? Oh, I didn't have to do anything. Your both hands and legs. I can see your whole body. Surprise. My phone's there. Without my phone, I'm nothing. Ready, watch. Take my phone from. Whoa, what? Here's tonight the ripple effects from a data breach in the California Justice Department. Thanks for joining us. I'm Steve Clark.
And I'm Adrienne Moore. News is also streaming live on CBS News Sacramento right now. Tonight, the scrutiny is intensifying.
CBS 13's Laura Hafley is live in Sacramento with the lawmakers now calling for an investigation. Laura.
Now the state Republican Party is calling this massive data leak egregious. They're demanding accountability from the AG's office. This is just the most recent fallout from this data breach that's potentially put tens of thousands of Californians in danger. California Republican caucus citing grave concerns over the carry concealed weapon data breach in a letter addressed to Attorney General Rob Bonta. In physical danger for people whose personal information was leaked.
I got it because my spouse was being stalked by a violent abuser.
After the California Attorney General's office leaked tens of thousands of columns with names, birthdays, and home addresses of every concealed carry weapons holder in California, some fear for their lives. When you saw your name on this CCW list, why was that an issue for you?
Well, the guy who was violent and predator and stalker, he is out there still today.
The data breach victim we spoke to did not feel safe showing his face on camera, but says he noticed the Department of Justice link on Reddit.
And all of that is downloadable in an Excel spreadsheet.
Why was it important for you to put that information on this hard drive and deliver it to us?
It's very important that anybody who is a concealed weapons holder immediately lock down their information and look for a variety of problems. One of the things that could happen out of this easily be identity theft issue.
The California State Attorney General Rob Bonta's office has launched an investigation and is promising help for victims, including credit checks and financial resources. But do victims have other options? Do they have grounds to sue?
They obviously have to show damage of some kind, that something bad happened to them as a result. It's very difficult to sue the state.
Sacramento attorney Mark Reichel tells CBS 13 concealed carry permits are mostly public record, but there are exceptions.
There's a long list of individuals that the sheriff or the police department in each city has said this personal information of these individuals should not be released.
That list includes judges, police officers, celebrities, and domestic violence victims who are now all vulnerable. The Attorney General's office was not able to say how many people saw this data sheet before it was taken down. Now, this Excel spreadsheet is extremely lengthy. It not only includes CCW holders, but it also includes the names of those who applied for that permit and were denied.
Hello, South Africa. Becky Seal's personal number leaked online. South Africans with a bone to pick were given a direct line to the police minister this week, albeit against his will. A former SAPS official turned whistleblower posted the cell phone number of Becky Seal online. Needless to say, the politician is furious with the whole episode. Patricia Moshay is on a mission. She has been in the news recently for a series of allegations made against Becky Seal, the police service, and the ANC government in general. She is threatening to expose a myriad of corruption, which even drags Cyril Ramaphosa into the role. However, in a desperate bid to prove her claims are genuine, the whistleblower then shared information online about the minister's contact details. Sure enough, they were all completely legitimate. And no, we aren't going to pass them on. The digits were dropped on Wednesday afternoon, and South Africans have had a field day with this illicit information. Becky Seal says his phone did not stop ringing throughout the remainder of the day. However, he claims that most prank callers hung up as soon as he answered. In typically forthright fashion, the hatted minister has demanded that curious callers stop abusing the number. Mr. Seal states that the line is often used to help people in need of serious assistance. Alas, a direct line to the police minister is not a plaything. This is Leah for the South African. Please subscribe for more news updates. The Chicago.
Are we rolling, by the way?
What is happening? Knockout UTD.
Keep fucking rolling and let's do what we do. Not watching now, you're gonna miss out.
Oh, that's impressive.
Shall we see what we're dealing with? Let's do this team. I want you to go out there and smash it.
The Chicago trial of R. Kelly ended months ago. But today, a lawsuit filed with the U.S. District Court of Northern Illinois alleges personal details about the R&B star were leaked by staff in the U.S. trial.
He had every right to be able to be confident that the BOP would protect his information and not exploit it. But unfortunately, certain BOP officers did just that.
Jennifer Bonjean represents Kelly in the lawsuit filed against the federal government, the Bureau of Prisons, and a blogger named Latasha K, alleges Kelly's personal information was calls, including calls to his attorneys, were monitored and shared, impacting Kelly's ability to defend himself. The lawsuit claims at least 60 BOP officers made unauthorized access to plaintiff's sensitive, confidential, and private information maintained by the BOP. The BOP and U.S. Attorney's Office in Chicago declined to comment on pending litigation.
He does not to this day feel comfortable speaking to anyone, including his own lawyers, because of the impact of this event.
You're listening to personal phone calls, you're listening to recordings, between he and his attorney. That's not right. That's not right. That doesn't sit right at all.
Two of Kelly's sisters who live outside of our area spoke with ABC7 virtually today.
They do it to him, they can do it to anybody else. It's just time for change in our judicial system. It's just time for change.
Kelly is currently serving a 20-year sentence out of state for producing child pornography and enticing a minor in sexual activity. He is appealing that conviction as well as a conviction out of New York for sex trafficking and racketeering.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.
Now to a major breach of privacy at the LCBO, the second major hack for the retailer. Hundreds of
Yeah, my roof liked it.
Ukraine. Why do we give up? Please say. Okay. Ukraine's intelligence service claims to have leaked the personal information of more than 2,000 Russian soldiers and spies. The first list allegedly includes the names, birthdays, job titles, and passport numbers of 650 agents from Russia's main security agency, the FSB. The second list is said to include the information of 1,600 Russian troops who were stationed in the Ukrainian city of Bucha, where a mass murder of civilians is believed to have taken place. NBC News has not yet verified the accuracy of all that data. Mark Polymeropoulos joins us now. He's a 26-year veteran of the CIA, serving in both Iraq and Afghanistan, and some of the agency's most decorated field officers. Mark, it's great to see you this morning. I want to ask you about what's happening in the east of Ukraine right now. But first, what do you make of that report that Ukraine leaked all that information? What is the benefit of doing that?
Well, first, thanks for having me today. I think that I just have to say the Greek diaspora is cheering now. You have a Stavridis and a Palmropoulos on set tonight. Yes. And, we need George Tenet and then it's a great hat trick. But the release of this information is pretty extraordinary. We talk about hybrid warfare, and we always kind of feared that the Russians would do things like this. The Ukrainians are doing it right back at them. And it matters because, first of all, it gets into Putin's head. It certainly affects the morale of these units that are involved in the atrocities. And it goes to the final point is, at some point, there's going to be a reckoning in terms of war crimes. And so the Ukrainians are messaging to the Russians is, we know who did this. We're going to hold you accountable. And I think that's really important. And, there's more to come. I think we're going to see messaging campaigns from the Ukrainians, perhaps in conjunction with the Allies. Two Russian military units stationed inside Ukraine, warning them about certain things such as war crimes. So they're on the offense. This is a good thing. And we're finally really, playing in the Russians' old sphere of hybrid warfare, and we're winning.
So at an event in Georgia last week, CIA Director William Burns gave this answer when asked about the threat of Russia using nuclear weapons in Ukraine.
Given the potential desperation of President Trump. Personal information of more than 1,600 local police officers and their families has been illegally disclosed online. The leak started in June when protests began in the city. Authorities on Thursday said people who review the officers' personal information will face serious consequences.
We shall take decisive action against illegal acts that disturb peace and threaten residents' lives. We condemn such irresponsible acts that ignore the safety and freedom of others.
The leaked information included officers' names, ID numbers, birth dates, phone numbers, and even addresses. Even their children's photos, schools and classes have been exposed. There are cases of officers and family members being haunted by cyber violence and officers' children being bullied at school.
Someone leaked my personal details onto the dark web. Now everyone I love is being hunted down. To be perfectly honest, I was never a fan of all that dark web stuff. I mean, it's interesting enough and all, but I never had the patience, nor technological know-how to figure out how to use it productively. In fact, my whole family seems to be missing the technology genes. We've struggled with everything from computers and phones to toasters and microwaves. My mother even got scammed a few times before she passed away. Luckily, she never lost anything more than a few hundreds bucks, but it still stung. Francis, my best friend, on the hand was a tech whiz. He loved that stuff and never shied away from looking up the most bizarre and horrific things online. If he could reach it, he would. He even tried to set up a Tor browser on my computer once, but I just ended up ignoring it, somehow deleting the shortcut and losing track of where he placed it. Still, he'd periodically send me pictures from Alphabet, which is apparently some dark web black market. It was mostly strange or illegal products. Other times he'd find impossible, random conspiracies. It was usually weird and funny stuff. But sometimes he'd send me darker things, pictures of murder victims, videos displaying horrific car crashes and other accidents. It made me appreciate our friendship a little less. But Francis was all around a good guy, albeit an eccentric one. We stuck together, on the rare occasion that he crossed the line. I just politely asked him to stop, which would work for a while. Then, after the shock had worn off, he'd send more stuff he found on the dark web. It would always start off so innocent with funny pictures of forums, but it inevitably got darker, escalating to more disturbing areas of the dark web. The most horrific thing he ever sent me, however, was little more than a picture of myself, found randomly out there in the sea of onion sites. It was just a screenshot he'd sent, with a picture of myself and some text lined up next to it. In a way, it looked like a profile for some sort of social media page, but it was plain, simple, and seemingly pointless. It contained my name, birthday, address, everything. I am so sorry. Tyler, I don't know how they found you. Francis sent me as a message. What do you mean? Who are they? What's going on? I asked back in a flood of questions. Did you open any suspicious emails? Or sign up for something weird online? I tried to think back. I couldn't remember anything that stood out, but in my business I dealt with hundreds of mails each day from various clients. I don't know. Francis, what's going on? Your name is on LICIA, listed as a participant. What the hell is Alicia? A red room? It was supposed to be closed down, but it's back. I chuckled at his remark. I wasn't much of a tech genius, but even I knew red rooms were little more than myths told to scare teenagers and gullible adults. Come on, man. This is a joke. Right. Red rooms aren't real. I think this one is. After that, I'd reached the maximum amount of Francis antics that I could handle. I told him to back off and leave me alone for a bit, which had become somewhat of a routine between the two of us. Still, I took his warning serious enough to dial the non-emergency line to the police. I explained the situation, but they didn't take it seriously. After all, my personal information leaked on a website shouldn't have been much of a threat. They just told me to call back if anything more substantial happened. I went about my week, and nothing came of the mysterious website. Francis even admitted he might have overreacted a tad. Truth is, most people have their email information leaked somewhere online. Even passwords and personal details are readily available all over the place. But for most people, that's just useless information. Then about a month later, I received a letter in my mail. It didn't have a return address, nor any stamps. It was just a plain envelope put in my mailbox. The only way I could have received it would be if someone had personally delivered it themselves. I opened the letter to find a perfectly black paper inside, with little more than a single line of text in the middle. It was just a string of random numbers and letters, ending in. I need to mark the fact that it was a dark web page. At first, I didn't even connect the dots. I had long since forgotten the fact that all my personal details had been leaked. Instead of just throwing it away as I should have, I decided to contact Francis. He was more intrigued than worried, showing up about 15 minutes later to help me connect to the website. He only needed about a second to dig up the Tor browser and input the onion link I'd received. Shit, he mumbled as the title of the site popped up. It was LICIA. That's the site that has my name. I asked to be sure. Francis nodded. A few seconds passed as the site loaded, before a black video player popped up in the center of the screen. It didn't have a timer or anything to let us know the duration of the video. Instead, it just had a play button. Francis clicked it, and though it was too dark to see what was going on, I could hear something in the background. Turn up the volume, I said. Francis did as commanded, and we were greeted with the muffled sounds of someone struggling. It was quiet, just loud enough to make out what was going on without understanding the hidden context. Then it got brighter, just enough to make out the walls and ceiling of a small room. In the center lay a man tied to a bed with chains, his face obscured by a bag pulled over his head. What the hell is this? I asked. It's a red room. Well, turn that shit off. Francis was reluctant to oblige, whether it be due to curiosity or shock, before I could reach out and turn it off myself. A man entered the picture. He was naked, with his bare chest covered in old scars and fresh blood. He pulled the mask off the tied up man, and I let out a loud gasp. What is it? Francis said. I pointed a trembling finger towards the screen. That's Mr. Dawson. My boss. You sure? I nodded. Is this a live stream or something? No, I don't think so. As far as I know, you can't live stream on the dark web. It has to be a recording. I wanted so desperately to just turn it off and call the police, but we were both frozen in our seats. The naked man pulled out a knife from a bag on the ground and started peeling off pieces of skin from Dawson's leg. He tried to scream in agony, but he was gagged, left unable to move or even call for help. Little by little, the man cut off pieces of flesh from Dawson, moving his way from the legs to the torso. I can't say exactly how long the video went on for. It skipped minutes at the time, showing Dawson at progressively more mutilated stages of the torture. It wasn't until his skin had been almost completely removed, before he finally lost consciousness. I threw up, finally snapping back to reality as the screen turned black. Francis sat speechless in his chair. But what could we do? Dawson had to have been dead by the time we even opened the link. Naturally, I called the police and gave them all the information about the website that I had. But by the time the police got around to checking it out, the video was gone. Once it had been viewed, it was simply removed. They believed us though, saying that they forwarded the information to the appropriate sources, which turned out to be the FBI. There was little more I could do, without solid evidence that my boss had actually died. He was just reported missing while the investigation went on. I was questioned by various officers and an FBI agent a couple of times, but that was about it. A year passed, and life went on. My place of work just hired a new manager, and Dawson's disappearance remained an unsolved mystery. I fully believed that would be the end of it. I thought the horrors I'd witnessed would be a one-time occurrence. Then I would be fine. During that time, I also drifted away from Francis. We weren't even able to look each other in the eyes anymore. Not after what we'd seen together. Then everything changed, as I got another letter in the mail. It was unmarked without an address, just like before. That time, however, I didn't hesitate to call the police. I already knew what would be inside, and I wasn't about to ruin another piece of evidence. The police redirected me to the responsible FBI agent who was working the case. He was quick to act, coming to pick me up within the hour alongside three armed agents. Mr. Larkin, I am Agent Vance. We need to come with us, he said before they rushed me inside the car as if my life depended on it. They took me to an office building in the middle of the city and made me wait in an interrogation room while they checked out the evidence. I sat there with a cup of water, 100 thoughts running through my mind. An hour passed before Agent Vance came to check up on me. He looked upset, but had put on a brave face to talk to me. We checked out the link in your envelope and found a video like the one you described last time. We've taken some still shots of the footage, and I'd like it if you could help identify the victim. I shuddered at the thought, but agreed to help. Vance guided me into a room full of computers. A group of office workers sat in front of one, staring at a picture, trying to figure out who the person was. They didn't need to analyze it any further, because I knew exactly who it was. Francis. He looked absolutely horrified, the still picture showing him clearly alive. But for how long that would last, I didn't know. Is he? I began to ask. He didn't survive. I am sorry. Vance interjected, knowing what I wanted to ask. How did he die? It's better you don't know the details, but we're going to catch this guy. I promise you that much. Again, we went over each and every detail. They promised over and over they'd do everything in their power to chase down the people who did, and to keep me safe. But as weeks turned to months, no culprit was caught. Eventually, I stopped working. Instead, I just hit it home, afraid that anyone remotely close to me might be next. I didn't have much in terms of family, no siblings, and my parents have long since died. I suppose that made me an easy target for the runners of the Red. Despite the FBI's best efforts, the letters kept coming with random intervals.
Oh shit, what am I doing? Change the kit color. Yeah, the kit look massive the difference. Never recognized one team. Whatever that shit was it. Yeah, with that colorblind settings, isn't it? Never recognized one team.
And I could do nothing to stop it. I couldn't even contact the culprits and ask what the hell they wanted from me. But then it hit me I was being tortured. And while it wasn't physical like the others, it was still mental torture, like the horrors they'd committed on my friends. The pain wouldn't end until I was dead. Maybe that's what they so desperately wanted, for me to kill myself. Maybe it was some sort of sick game to see how long I could last. I sat down in front of my computer, ready to give up, if there was even the slightest chance that it would save lives. I had to do it.
You kill yourself to save other people, boy, I idiot. Yeah, fuck them. I am legend, man. Last man alive, you know. I hear that. I mean, Will Smith, man. I mean, last man alive, yeah.
Hello. I asked as I picked it up. Not like that. A twisted, robotic voice said from the other end. Not like that. Warning. You need to record it properly. The voice continued. Whoever they were using some kind of voice changing software to make them unrecognizable. How did you? I began. Before noticing the camera on my computer. Of course they'd been watching. I didn't even need to ask. I just stared at the camera and the mysterious person on the other end confirmed. That's right.
What's that called? The boy not see them catch them, keep skin, them alive.
So all I have to do is to kill
Them
myself.
think them are some spooky motherfuckers.
Face the camera.
I go have to hide and do it, kill them for them. Body pursue. And nothing will come out of that. Remember me
I
tell you.
can't let anyone else die because I just pray that once I'm gone, they'll finally stop. Dude, no. If you do it, they win. And killing yourself won't solve anything. They'll just pick a new target and the whole process will start again. At least you have the police. And more importantly, the FBI involved in our making headway. The greatest sacrifice you can make would be
Say they won't make it to the court.
catch these sick guys. It's time for you to win.
Tell them say they will not be making it to that courtroom. And no former police now see if they will make it if they never find one dead pussy. Oh, this is England. There's nothing now come out of if never identify it. And everybody have told you that just to see all your friends them out the system tell the police nothing cannot come out of it and cannot be linked back to them in any way, shape or form. Because the moment it happen them take charge and identify you as any government agent, a game over for them, yeah. Nothing will come out of it for your pussy.
Among them are hundreds of messages recording whole personal information about donors, all parted by WikiLeaks called an ongoing series of primary leaks. WikiLeaks announced a new database in a tweet with the hashtags #Hillary2016 and #FieldBurn. It includes 19,252 emails with 8,000
Madison not have skills. Madison playing like a 3-star skill.
The messages run from January 2015 to May of 2016. While they cover a range of topics, many are confirmation emails covering donations from party members, and in addition to full names, addresses, and phone numbers, some include passports and social security numbers. Gizmodo notes that there are also credit card payment details, including card numbers. While the last batch of tweeting-related emails
Oh,
WikiLeaks
shoot,
found
both.
were made publicly available by the State Department, these messages seem to come from the DNC network compromised that was reported earlier this year. The organization said in June that Russian hackers had broken into its servers, gaining access to email and chat logs dating back to 2015. Shortly thereafter, a hacker known as Justin 2.0, supposedly based in Romania, claimed responsibility. Although the DNC had denied that hackers got access to financial and donor information, Gawker posted evidence that spreadsheets of donors had in fact been taken. A WordPress blog seemingly run by Gussie then posted several droves of donor hacker data, including oppositional research on Donald Trump. As Gizmodo points out, WikiLeaks has long adhered to a policy of directly posting leaked information without redacting it, setting it apart from some online whistleblower Edward Snowden, who hid material for at least to minimize collateral damage. He even provided information like the State Department email dump WikiLeaks by profile and searchable database raises its visibility, which, depending on the context, is a double-edged sword. In this case, the email's larger heading is simply an criminality. The Intercept has DNC discussing losing presidential candidate Bernie Sanders' religious beliefs against his campaign. And WikiLeaks pointed to an email discussing an anti-Trump campaign that apparently involved creating satirical Craigslist ads based on offensive comments Trump had made about women. But any revelation, it seems, would be balanced against potential risk to voters. Managers will now deliver their half-time team talks. We're at the end of 45 minutes in this game. When it comes to the technology your business relies on day in and day out,
Wars costing McNamara his defense team. KTVU South Bay reporter Jesse Geary has our exclusive report live from our South Bay bureau. And Jesse, have the text messages that are being brought to light had an impact on the ongoing civil case?
Well, Julie, good evening to you. Federal Judge Nathaniel Cousins ordered lawyers for both sides into court today to talk about those text messages. As a result of what McNamara allegedly wrote, his defense team says they can no longer represent him. As you heard in the deposition, since back in 2022, March, he acted by the book.
Every time I read these force on somebody, it makes me feel bad. I've heard people on one side of being civil nonsense from.
In June, Mark McNamara gave his perspective on his shooting of Taylor Green while on duty a year prior. Months ago, the veteran lawman offered an apology and an explanation.
Hey, sorry. It's a big part of the job. Sometimes it has to be like, it's a man who made the right decision. I didn't make the wrong decision. I took at the time the circumstances and acted to the best of my training and
Shortly after saying this, McNamara allegedly penned racist text to another unidentified SJPD officer. One said, "I hate black people." Another references plaintiff's attorneys as the N-word and "I'll shoot you too." The language that this officer used to talk about quiet and to discuss us, to describe us, harkens back to many of the racist stereotypes of racial names. And it was shocking to see that, on a piece of paper that was a text message. Plaintiff's attorney Dante Porter wasn't alone in this reaction. Wednesday, federal judge Nathaniel Cousins ordered lawyers from both sides into court to discuss. Cousins saying the text raised questions around the conflict of interest for the city attorney's office, questions about discovery, evidence that could help, or in this case, hurt the defense. And the text could show bias by McNamara and the department, since the recipient isn't identified and the texts are partially redacted. At the end of the 30-minute session, city attorneys conceded they can no longer represent McNamara.
There's going to be a lot of finger pointing as a result of these racist texts, and I think that's the inherent conflict in this case. The city attorney will continue to represent the city of Salisbury and SGPD, but they can no longer represent Officer McNamara because of what occurred with these racist texts.
McNamara was one of several officers responding to a fight inside La Victoria Pizzeria in March of 2022. Green disarmed the gunman inside, and as he backed out the front door, gun in hand, only McNamara fired. Would-be football star Husband Man says he still suffers from the effects of that shooting.
And it's clear, based on McNamara, who he was texting with, and also previous cases, that dangerous racism is part of the culture within the police department. It's been allowed, it has been fostered and allowed to leave a lot of people in jeopardy.
McNamara resigned from the force last Friday. The city attorney's office says they're having problems finding replacement counsel. Judge Cousins says if no attorneys step up, the case moves to trial in April, with McNamara representing himself. It may actually delay our fight beginning in April.
Judge Cousins
Ooh.
The issue of McNamara's defense team withdrawing a week from today that could impact the timeline from summary judgment in this case. The deadline for that is November 17th.
So, Jesse, what happens next in this case, and could he possibly be decertified?
Well, plaintiff's attorneys say they're going to A, write the state attorney general's office, and B, write the U.S. attorney's office to file a civil rights, not only a civil rights violation, but also ask that hate crime charges be brought against McNamara. And they also want him decertified so that he can never serve again as a police officer.
All right, Jesse Geary live in our South Bay Bureau. Jesse, thank you.
On Prime Crime. And officers' arrests come to question.
He essentially was employing the magic tricks to hide evidence.
But proving a crime was committed by a member of law enforcement is not an easy task.
We don't actually ever see them planting their knuckles. That raises some red flags to me.
He gave me a piece of advice that sometimes the people you think you can trust are the very ones you shouldn't. That has stuck with me as the most chilling thing to say.
Hey everybody, I'm Jesse Weber, and welcome to Crime Find. This is where we break down some of the most compelling and memorable true crime cases. Law enforcement is supposed to be the good guys, and many times, if not most of the time, they are. However, there is something very odd that happens in one Florida county. A spotlight is put on an officer who may not actually be arresting people for crimes, but committing them himself.
It's April 8th, 2018 in Jackson County, Florida. What should have been a typical day for one of us suddenly becomes a life-changing encounter with Sheriff's Deputy Zachary Wester. The day I got stopped, I was actually on my way to work. I was coming through a small town. There was a police officer sitting underneath the overpass, and when he pulled in behind me, I still really didn't think anything of it until the lights came on. And that was when I was like, this is really weird. He said that my license had been suspended, and he realized that when he ran my plate. I was like, that's strange because you were facing me under the overpass, and you followed me for 3 miles before you put the lights on. So the red flags were already going up.
You made a spontaneous statement about there was a handgun in the center console. You said it was okay for me to go retrieve that handgun from the center console.
He asked if there was anything in the vehicle that I thought he should be concerned about, and I was honest with him. I told him I've got a handgun in the center console, and he asked me if I had a concealed weapons permit. I said, no, you don't need one in Florida.
At that point, he had probable cause to pull that car over. Keep in mind, a lot of times, the reason I pulled you over does lead into further investigation based on what I see or maybe information that I gathered during the traffic stop.
Alright. I'm gonna read your rights. Just read your rights. I mean you're going to do it. Okay. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court.
I knew I didn't have anything to hide. That's why I let him search my vehicle. I trusted the process.
Those feelings changed a little bit when he read me the Miranda rights.
Opened up the center console, shoved down to the front passenger seat, and where the center console was at, I saw what appeared to be a syringe sticking out. Whenever I went, I looked further, pulled the seat apart. The syringe is actually in like a plastic larger baggie with a plastic container with a substance in it that appears to be an illegal narcotic. Do you know anything about that?
I was shocked. I had no idea what the heck he was talking about because I am not a meth user. I don't do drugs. I've never smoked pot. I've physically never done drugs in my life. It blew my mind that he was questioning me about this.
You've never seen this before?
This is wild. I was so surprised that it was methamphetamines of all things. It wasn't weed. It wasn't like a crack pipe. It was methamphetamines. It was a used needle.
That's right, Mark. Yeah, where we're at. Yes. We're staying here. This definitely has the appearance of illegal activity. It just puts me in a bad spot, man.
You know, I thought there had to be an explanation. Maybe somebody left it in my car. I don't know. I have employees. Maybe that's a possibility. But I know the people I hire. We do background checks. I simply don't have addicts working for me.
I'm not saying you're a bad person, okay? You don't appear to be a user, okay? And if you are a user, you've not been using at home. Or you understand where I'm coming from, right?